Hello, good morning. This is the day the Lord has made. We'll rejoice and we'll be glad in it. My name is Jude Duncan. You are warmly welcome to Breakfast Daily right here on Channel 1 TV. On this show, we bring you the latest big stories as far as the newspapers and the online portals are concerned. And of course, we have a panel discussion to deliberate on some of the big conversations that, has kept a lot of you talking from socials and from all that's happened in the news. But before we do that, I would love to just quickly remind you of some exciting things happening here at Channel 1 TV. I would love to start off with the City Business Festival because it's exactly or less than a month away from the 1st to the 30th of June. We'll be coming your way with exciting business conversations aimed at, elevating the business community. So whether you're a business owner, whether you're in corporate Ghana, whether you have a product that is on the market, that has the potential of improving the lives of the people, we are here for you and would love to get you on board. So we'll be having conversations of interest to the business community. We'll also have a big forum. And very importantly, this year, we've come up with an exciting auto show or an expo to showcase the rich array of made in Ghana vehicles and all that you can do to get or be a part of it. So it promises to be fun. It promises to be exciting. Look out for the City Business Festival. There will be the on-air series both on radio and on TV. And of course, we climax it with a big forum that will take place at an announced date. I want to say a big thank you to our sponsors, Absa Bank, MTN Ghana, Petro Trust, and of course, Zonda Tech Ghana Limited. This is in partnership with Absa Bank. So please mark on your calendar the dates for the City Business Festival. And in the course of the week and in the coming days, we'll outline all the various programs and events and the dates that all of that will be happening. You can be sure to get all of this information on the City News app. And I'll now talk about the City News app because it is your one-stop shop for everything news related, everything, as far as what we do here at Channel 1 TV and City FM is concerned. We've perfectly curated for your consumption, for your viewing pleasure, and you don't need to stress about how to get the news or all of our events here at City FM and Channel 1 TV. It's very easy to use. You go on your app store, you search for Channel 1 News, you click the install button, and with that, you are good to go. All of the latest stories in a simplified place for you. So please do well to download the Channel 1 News app and get up to speed with the news, infotainment, education, and everything really that we do here at Channel 1 TV. Moving on from Channel 1 TV, I'll still talk about something that we've produced again in-house, and this has got to do with the most exciting and the most entertaining TV drama series airing right now in the country and beyond, and I'm referring to the Blank Scenes, right? It's happening every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. where we bring you exciting, drama on what has got a lot of people talking, so please do well to be a part of this drama series. Like I said, it airs every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. and there's quite a number of showing times, from Fridays at 11:30 a.m., Saturdays at 7 p.m., Sundays at 4:30 p.m. On Tuesdays, the repeat is at 3 p.m. and on Wednesdays, you can catch the repeat at 5:30 p.m. It's proudly brought to you by Nasco Electronics, Lizzie Sheto. It's a hot pepper sauce, of course, Out Insecticide, and Everpack. This is truly proudly a Channel 1 TV production, and we are really excited about all of the amazing things happening as far as the Blank Scenes drama series is concerned. So please do make a date with us. You might never know, maybe in one of the episodes I might just appear, or let me be truthful to say, in the subsequent one I may just show up somewhere as a character, right? Because already some of my colleagues I work with here, made appearances in there, and it's really, really fun to see that, they have their full-time jobs and they're able to do this as well. So I'm particularly excited about the Blank Scenes, right? And I hope you make time with them to enjoy this quality, high-level drama series on TV. And with that said, it's now time for us to delve into the big headline stories being reported by the online portals and, of course, the newspapers. I'll start off with the Daily Graphic newspaper. Big front page story. VRA NEDCO staff reject privatization. Comes with a photograph of Dr. John Abdullahi Jenapo, who's the Minister for Energy and Green Transition. Now, this, of course, the background is that the IMF, made calls to the effect that, we may have to look at privatization going forward as part of the PCI, that's the Policy Coordination Instrument. So quite a number of opinions have become rife on this matter, and in the coming days, we'll be sharing with you, the position of government and, of course, civil society on this matter. But we'll move on to some other stories. Mining sector delivers over 2 billion royalties in the first quarter. Supreme Court permits CSOs to join suit challenging the OSP. Experts, diplomats discuss structural barriers to Africa's global influence. On the back page, Black Stars need belief, not rebuilding. Assistant coach Dissent speaking there, and he's built a long-standing working relationship with the Black Stars head coach Carlos Queiroz. Moving on to some other stories. The Daily Guide newspaper, big front page story. Embattled MP faces Dutch court tomorrow. MPP petitions diplomatic community over political persecution, story on page 3. Also here, NDC scribe dies in hotel room, story on page 6 of the Daily Guide. The Supreme Court blocks Gifty Owari's move to halt the trial. And finally, here on the front page, illegal miners invaded Wuntumi's Akonta mine. Ex-deputy minister speaking there. I'll take you to the News Center newspaper, and the big front page story. Daman mine gold sales to gold board hits 224 kg. It comes with a photograph of Gold Board's Director for Technical Affairs, Michael Akon, and Counsel for Jata Holdings, Bobby Bunsen, during the presentation ceremony. Moving on to some other story. MPP petitions diplomats on threats to free speech. PCI to reduce financial dependence on IMF, and the Supreme Court allows 14 CSOs to join OSP legal battle. Africa Prosperity Network calls for Africa-wide mobile money interoperability. And these are the big stories on the News Center newspaper. I take you to the Herald newspaper. The big front page story. Circuit Court files brand MPP Bono Regional Chairman a serial offender as trial judge ties to ECG's Dubik Mahama is revealed. GCB Bank partners timeline innovation and 5 million machinery boost. MPP Tescon rejects IEA's position on Goldfields Ghana lease. Railway workers demand probe into missing 40 million Ghana cedis. And jury in ex-Nigeria oil minister weighs guilt in bribery trial. And these are the stories on the Herald newspaper. I take you to the Ghanaian Times because they have here, Southern Ghana faces flood threat. Ghana Meteorological Agency warns as heavy rains approach. Nation needs $53 billion to fight climate change. That's coming in from MEST. And also here, MPP petitions diplomatic call over alleged political persecution. And governments to roll out 2026-2030 decentralization framework. And that's from the Executive Secretary of the IMCC. Moving on to the Chronicle newspaper. Big front page story here. The perilous journey to knowledge. How pupils in Western North suffer to access education. It comes with a photograph of the pupils, in a canoe, on their way to school. NDC is a reflection of scam. Minority Chief Whip speaking there. And Apostle Kojo Safo goes home July 30th. And the word of the Lord they have this morning for us is on 2 Samuel 13, verse 21. And it says, when King David heard of all of these things, he was very angry. And I'm sure it's in reference to some of the things on the front page of the headline, because how are we allowing school children to sit in a canoe to cross a river without life jackets? And it's 2026. Of course, King David will be angry when he hears all of these things. And this is the word of the Lord this morning. Hopefully we change our ways. I'll move on to the Inquisitor newspaper. The big story, the front page story here, they have the story on Gold Board as well. They say Gold Board receives second full gold output from Daman mine. And also Health Ministry recruits 6,245 nurses and midwives. The TCDA out with minimum producer price for fresh mango for 2026 major season. And Ghana Ice BB credit rating comes with a photograph of the Finance Minister Kesel Ato Forsen. The Custodian newspaper, MPP petitions foreign diplomats over soaring state condoned persecutions. And also here, NDC has failed faster than anticipated. Anodon fires Mohammed's government, and Zoom Lion Kenya to transform Nairobi waste management system. I'll take you to the Informer newspaper now because they say there's Armageddon in NDC as angry party loyalists unleash fury on arrogant appointees. And it comes with a photograph of the national chairman of the NDC, Johnson Esiedu Nketia. The president is in the news because he says Africa must control its health destiny. Mahama calls for global reset. And moving on to some other stories, Ghana hooked on IMF. TUC sounds alarm. And these are the stories on the Informer newspaper. The publisher is also reporting MPP petitions diplomats over political persecutions want to me assigned no mineral rights. Mrekuduka tells ex-court, or tells court, I beg your pardon. And in rather dramatic fashion, the Arsenal have won the Premier League after 22 years. And guess what? They won it without even kicking a ball last night after Man City drew with Bournemouth, at that game at the Vitality Park in the UK. So interesting things all over the world as Arsenal have been, named, effectively as winners for the 2025-2026 Premier League. Congratulations to Arsenal for this historic feat. I move on to the publisher newspaper. I fired judge's lawless conduct, not his person. Apenyo Markin response. Also here, stop harassing our people or face revolt. MPP warns government over 16 political arrest. And finally, with the newspapers, I have the Insight newspaper. Kwesi Pratt calls for global reset to correct historical injustices amid demands for reparations. And also, Supreme Court clears CSOs to join suit challenging the OSP's prosecutorial powers. And finally here, Trump in Beijing, the twilight of Western hegemony and the brutal return of history. An interesting article there for those who are interested in foreign policy, and global news, really. I'll take you to the citynewsroom.com because they also have some really interesting stories as well. Great. So they start off with Ghana's debt, right? And we are being told that Ghana's debt is growing. And it is being attributed to the finance minister. Ghana's public debt rises to 674 billion Ghana cedis. Moving on to some other stories on citynewsroom.com. Reliable energy key to Africa's industrial growth. That's from the energy minister, John Abdullahi Jinapo. I think just John Jinapo, I beg your pardon. Abandoned Agenda 111 hospital in Asindaman overrun by weeds and snakes. Okuapehima cautions against Sophia Kufu's purported installment. Court bars celebration of Ewukudai at Akropong Ekuapem, and Apostle Kojosafo to be laid to rest on July 30th. The Health Ministry on Ebola says no Ebola cases in Ghana yet, but are cautioning the public to observe all of the safety protocols. Era of unchecked hostel fee hikes over. The rent commissioner speaking there, and the Ghana Standards Authority shuts down Ashama China Mall warehouse over alleged substandard materials. And these are the big stories on citynewsroom.com. Of course, the Minister for Government Communications and the Member of Parliament for AAK, Phyllis Fosu Kwache, is in the news as he supports residents who were affected by the tidal waves incident at Moray. And these are the big stories on citynewsroom.com. I take you to Channel 1 News channel1news.com. And interesting stories over here as well. Ghana faces 9.3 billion climate financing gap, financial stability review report. Also here, I have no hesitation joining Black Stars setup, Black Stars assistant coach speaking over there, and NPP to stage massive demo after diplomatic petition. That's Salam Mustafa speaking there. And to be fair, some parts of his comment has generated, significant public, furore, to suggest that the NPP will make the country ungovernable for the ruling government. A lot of people, raise question marks with that particular comment. Maybe, hopefully, as when my panel joins me, we'll deliberate a little further on that particular one. No Ebola cases recorded in Ghana. That's from the Health Ministry. And the hostel fee directive, I'm working within my mandate, acting rent commissioner, speaking there. So these are some of the big stories as far as the online portals are concerned. And I'd want to just read a couple of stories so that we put the matter in perspective. So I'll start off with the Daily Graphic big front page story, because they say the VRA and NEDCO staff rejects the privatization. It's a Newsdesk report by Graphic, and excerpts read: staff groups of the Volta River Authority and the VRA and the Northern Electricity Distribution Company NEDCO have rejected a government proposal to introduce private sector participation into the distribution of power in the Northern Territory. They said the arrangement will transfer complete operational control to private entities while ignoring the structural challenges peculiar to NEDCO's mandate. They added that the idea was therefore unsuitable for the unique operational context of Northern Ghana, while the model constitutes full privatization disguised as participation. The worker group questioned, for instance, the future of NEDCO staff when the PSP arrangement would potentially keep them idle for the large part of their engagement with the company. In a communication dated March 25, 2026, addressed to the Minister of Energy and Green Transition, Dr. Jinapo, a copy of which the Daily Graphic has seen, the VRA NEDCO staff group said they arrived at their conclusion after a thorough examination of the guiding framework of the intended PSP arrangement. And now these are the concerns being raised by the group. So, for instance, they said the arrangement under the guiding framework for private sector participation would leave assets management of key power distribution infrastructure in the NEDCO area in the hands of NEDCO, while private participation would maintain control over technical and commercial issues. These, the communication said, would compromise the supply reliability, quality of service, delivery efficiency, all on the technical side, and utility responsiveness, that's complaints mainly, and customer billing and revenue on the commercial side. So the story goes on and on and on. It talks about the reasons why they're opposing this, and of course the role and the scope of the PSP. What we do know is that this is a developing story. We are expected to officially hear from the ministry what their position is, and by extension government, and of course the debates will continue, and hopefully the best position would be taken in the interest of the country. But let me take you to some other stories, a story that we'll be discussing when my panel joins me pretty shortly, and it's got to do with the MPP's petition to the diplomatic community over political persecutions. Now, story on page 3, and it's by Ernest Kofi Edu. Excerpts of the story reads: the opposition New Patriotic Party has petitioned the diplomatic community in the country over what it describes as the growing state-sponsored political persecution, suppression of dissent, and erosion of democratic freedoms under the government of President John Dramani Mahama. The story goes on to say the petition presented to members of the diplomatic corps in Accra and received by the Moroccan ambassador to Ghana, Imani Udio, who is the dean of the diplomatic corps, accused the government of weaponizing state institutions against political opponents, journalists, activists, and social media commentators. The story goes on to say, in a petition signed by the General Secretary, Justin Kodia Frimpong, the minority leader Alexander Penyomakin, the party claimed that Ghana's democratic credentials were under serious threat due to a systemic pattern of intimidation, arbitrary arrests, and selective prosecutions and politically motivated detentions. The story goes on to say, according to the MPP, the country is gradually returning to a culture of silence, with critics of government increasingly facing criminal prosecution instead of democratic engagement. The party alleged that the government was indirectly resurrecting criminal libel and state-sponsored censorship through the use of sections 207 and 208 of the Criminal Offences Act to prosecute political speech and criticism of public officials. Now, aside the case, or they goes on to give the background, right, with the very one being the Abronya DC case, where he's been remanded up until May 27, when the matter will be heard again. Now, according to the judge on that particular case, he said he refused the accused bail because of a history of repeated offences, and that didn't go down well with the MPP. Of course, the minority leader led a tirade on the said judge, accusing him of incompetence, among other issues, right? So beyond the Abronya case, the MPP listed several party members and activists, media personalities it claimed had faced arrest, intimidation, or prosecution for expressing views critical of the government. Among those mentioned were Johnny Tim Fodjo, Paul Adam Ultre, Kofi Ofosu Nkansa, Alfred Ababio Kumi, and Oketechi Efrifa. The party further accused the state security institutions, including the National Intelligence Bureau, the Economic and Organized Crime Office (YOCO), and the Ghana Police Service, of being used for partisan purposes through the Rambo-style arrests, midnight raids, and prolonged detention. So we'll be discussing this issue in its entirety. Of course, the NDC have, to an extent, found a way into this conversation. They were not happy with the comments made by the minority leader Alexander Penyomakin, and have called for a parliamentary probe into the matter. Prior to that, the government communication minister and member of parliament for Ibra Kwaman Kese, Felix Kwacho Fosu, also called out the Ghana Bar Association over what he described as, their affinity to the new patriotic party whenever issues of prime importance around our legal and judiciary framework comes up, and of course the NPP have also been responding to that as well. So we'll get a panel to delve into all of those issues and more. But this show is interactive, right? We don't do this alone. We love to hear from you what your thoughts are on the issues. We engage the politicians, but we also try to listen to our lovely viewers out there. So you can do so via the WhatsApp number on the screen. Share in your message, your contribution, your experience, right? And we'll be glad to read the show, or we'll be glad to read it for you on the show. Of course, you also do send, you can send a lovely message to any loved one who's celebrating a birthday on a special milestone, and I'll be glad to read it for you as well. This one already coming in says, "Hi Jude, please help us wish our lovely mom happy birthday to the most gracious and the strongest woman I know, my mother. Mom, words fail me. Words will never be enough to express how much you mean to me. You have carried so much strength, grace, love, and wisdom, yet you still manage to pour so much into the people all around you. You are truly the definition of a strong woman, and I thank God every day for blessing me with you. Your strength inspires me, your kindness comforts me, and your heart is one of the purest I know. I pray this new year, your life brings you peace, happiness, good health, long life, and the love that you deserve. May you continue to shine and be celebrated today and always. I love you endlessly, Mom. Happy birthday, my gracious queen." From your children, Paul and Louisa. You didn't mention your mom's name, but I'm sure when she hears your name, she'll know who this is for. But thank you so much for celebrating your mom on the show. I would personally also want to say happy birthday to my boss and a man who's been very, very good to me in many ways, Mr. Bernard Avle, who's the general manager right here at Channel 1 TV and City FM. And from all of us really on the production, we say happy birthday to you. We appreciate you. We love you. We say we are grateful for your leadership and for everything that you do for us, right? You know, the countless lives you've touched, you know, people who have been transformed by just hearing your voice on radio for all of these years. And we don't take it for granted at all. We say happy birthday to you, sir. And of course, to Richard Delasky Esquire, you know, words fail us really. We are really proud of you and for all that you've achieved for yourself. So happy birthday, Bernard. Happy birthday, Richard. And of course, you have another birthday in the house. Sikam Perov. The truth is that nobody really remembers his real name, right? We call him Sikam Perov. He works with our sales department. A really, really lovely brother. You know, we say chop life today on your birthday. So, yeah, do what to send in your messages. We'll be glad to read all of it across for you. But we'll take a quick break. When I'm back, we'll delve into the big stories. Don't go away.
No. You are the best in my life. Oh, yes, you do. You are. I love you.
Come and see
The Blacksons airs every Thursday at
The Blacksons
7:30 p.m. and is sponsored by Out Insecticide, Nasco Electronics,
The vibe
Lizzie
is
Shitop,
too
and
much.
Everpack on Channel 1 TV.
the vibe is too much.
June is for business here at City FM and Channel 1 TV. This June, the ideas get bolder and the future of Ghanaian business takes center stage. Welcome to the City Business Festival 2026. For the entire month of June, 97.3 City FM and Channel 1 TV bring together the thinkers, builders, innovators, and dreamers shaping the future of enterprise in Ghana. From powerful business fora that spark meaningful conversations to insightful on-air discussions with industry leaders and change makers, to stories of resilience, innovation, and ambition from Ghanaian entrepreneurs. This is more than a festival. It is a movement of ideas, strategy, and impact. Whether you're starting small, scaling big, or simply dreaming of your next breakthrough, the City Business Festival is your platform to learn, connect, and grow. Join the on-air series every weekday at 9 a.m. on the City Breakfast Show on 97.3 City FM and at 11 a.m. with a repeat at 6 p.m. on Channel 1 TV. This June, let's challenge businesses. Let's refine ideas. Let's create impact. Call 0205-973-973 for further details. City Business Festival 2026, driving ideas into impact. The City Business Festival 2026 is powered by 97.3 City FM and Channel 1 TV in partnership with Absa Bank, and it's proudly sponsored by Absa Bank, MTN, Zondatech Ghana Limited, and Petra Trust.
Welcome back. This is Breakfast Daily right here on Channel 1 TV. My name is Jude Duncan, sitting in for your regular host, Nana Tufor Boateng. We'll start off the conversation. I'll introduce my guest who've joined me in studio. We have Member of Parliament for South Tong, Maxwell Kwame Lukuto. Honorable, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Jude.
No, I like that you've taken, I'm thriving by the grace of God. I like that you've taken the Fugu Wednesday very well, and I'm really, I like what I'm seeing.
We are taking it that the way Arsenal took the.
Oh! Are you a Arsenal fan?
No, I'm not.
You're not an Arsenal fan. You
That would take how many years to win a second trophy.
You know,
and the behavior as if they won the World Cup.
I hear not landing is in a complete shutdown, but it's absolutely well deserved. Anyway,
yes.
we have a regular on the show also joining us in studio, Michael Koshidede. He's an engineer. I like to call him a policy analyst. He says,
No,
he's not.
I'm
But
not.
honestly, he does a lot of that actually. So anyway, but he's an engineer. Koshi, it's always a pleasure having you. Good morning and welcome.
Thank you very much.
Amazing. Today on the show, we'll be discussing the issues around the NDC, calling for the minority leader a probe into some of his comments he made about a judge on the Abronya case. We'll also be looking into issues around the Roman scam fraud case brought against the Member of Parliament who is scheduled to face the Dutch court tomorrow. And one other issue on comments made by Mustafa Salam, who is the MPP youth organizer, over issues around making this country ungovernable. And I'm sure you have very interesting perspectives to share with us. But I'll start off with the NDC and the minority leader. And I'd want to just give a brief timeline summarizing the judge's ruling basically on the matter and why he decided to keep Abronya DC in remand up until May 27th. So yes, the court was presided by Joseph Yenuban Kuson, and this is a case currently in the court. So what we do know is that Abronya is facing charges of offensive conduct conducive to the breach of peace, and that's section 207 of the Criminal Code, and the publication of false news, and that's section 208 of the Criminal Code. But what we do know is that he pleaded not guilty to all of the charges. His lawyers have argued that he deserved bail because he complied with the previous police inquiry bail conditions. He honored the invitation and was not a flight risk. These were the arguments his lawyers were making in court. Now the prosecutors opposed the application, the police by the way, arguing that the offense allegedly committed while Abronya was already on bail in another similar case, increasing the likelihood of reoffending. Now the court, based on its decisions on section 96, 5C and D of Act 30, which permits the denial of bail where there's a risk of reoffending. Now, the defense also cited the constitutional rights and the Supreme Court case versus Martin Kebo and the Republic to support their arguments. The court then eventually ordered the prosecution to file disclosures within 14 days to ensure a speedy trial and adjourn the case to May 27, which is the next hearing. So, despite the very popular case by Martin Kebo, to the effect that all crimes are bailable, the judge, based on the law again, to say said in his ruling that the accused person ran a risk of repeating the offense because there's precedent to that, and that has kept him in. I'll start off with the Member of Parliament, right, for Southton, because your party are calling for a parliamentary probe into comments made by the minority leader on this case. Is it a call you personally support?
Yeah, so let me say good morning to our viewers and listeners. And let me say hi to my constituents after home. Let me say that the laws of Ghana makes it independent for both judiciary, the legislature, and even the executive. Especially the judiciary have their sole independence. And so, yes, judges, lawyers can criticize judges or the judgment. But sometimes the way we do it matters. I'm not a lawyer. I don't pretend to be a legal luminary. And so, and Parliament has oversight of over all independent bodies and any other institution within the country. And so anything that comes to the fore and allegations involving any attempt to undermine or intimidate the judiciary should swiftly be investigated by Parliament. And that's why we are calling for a bipartisan probe into this. Apejo Maki as an individual is not above the law. In fact, he's the minority leader. But happenings around him in the past and currently is making him irrelevant when it comes to some of these issues. We expect him to live above board, especially when he's a senior lawyer. we expect that some things should not be coming to him. If you see his rantings, I call it rantings, for him to say that he's been elected by the MPP to speak on his behalf on that matter, for me, it's an apology to all Ghanaians. I'm not sure he's too different from Abronye DC himself, because if you listen to the things he said, I think they are best of the same feathers. That is why he was elected to go defend him. Because the kind of things he spewed out, I'm not sure any member of parliament ordinarily will speak the way Aponyo Makin spoke. And I believe that Aponyo Makin has had too many leeways to go speaking and not being pinned down, and so he's used to that. Seriously, the MPP itself has broken that completely beyond repairs. The Abronye DC that he's defending at the point was even cited within their own party to be hauled before the Council of Elders for some disciplinary action. I'm sure it's because he's not being dealt with. That is why he's now outside insulting everybody, insulting clergymen, in someone. Yes, there's freedom of speech, but the criminal code, but Article 21(3) also restricts us, that there are laws that will prevent us from going gaga and saying it, especially when you truly know that the things you are talking about are false. And you should not cause fear and panic within the society. And so you did it once, you are in court. The second time, the third time, and you think that you are the only one who has, excuse my language, a smelly mouth to say anything and go scot-free. Who is Abronye DC? Why? Why should we be tolerating him that much? When these people want attention in their parties, they begin to do silly things. And the next time you hear them going to contest for national elections and you see people following after them. For me, it is neither here nor there. He should be dealt with as much as the law requires.
Is it about tolerating him, or is about his rights in question here? Because clearly the laws of the land under Article 21,
yeah.
yes, gives us the freedom really of speech. So,
and 21.3, don't forget 21.3. Says that there are laws that will bar you from saying just anything, especially if you know what you are saying is falsehood. And if you know that what you are saying will cause fear and panic in the country.
These are the words of Abronye that has brought him the trouble that he's currently facing. So in his words alleged, he says, you are not a judge, but rather a politician, and you have covered your hair with a sack and you claim to be a judge. And these are the concerns or the comments that has landed him where he is. But Honorable, I stick with you briefly before I come to Koshi. There are concerns that in the past, right, some members of your party had cause to even believe same and say worse as far as our justice delivery system is concerned. So, for example, during the tenure of the previous chief justice, for example, she was called all sorts of names by members of your party. In fact, the president at the time opposition leader, suggested that she was part of what the party at the time described as unanimous FC. Was that not also problematic then?
No, you see, so we have laws. And if people say things and they are offensive of the law must deal with them. That's my point. The law must deal with people who say things and think that they can say it and go scot-free. The law must deal with them. So if today we are still using that law to deal with people, were they not dealt with in the past? Were they dealt with? So if we are still using the law now and somebody has to be hauled before the law, why will Aponyo Makin go to the extent to question whether the judge has even passed his bar exams? What kind of denigration is that? And you call yourself a senior lawyer? And you see, for me, these things should not be happening. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not in their scheme of things. But a lot of people have condemned this. Even the Ghana Bar Association has condemned it, hasn't it?
But do you also believe that Parliament has the agency to, and even the moral authority to conduct a proper probe into this, considering the past, even accusations that have been leveled against some members of the House, for example?
So like I said, Parliament has an oversight responsibility over anything that happens in this country. So it is our decision to go into the matter or not. So if Parliament decides that we want to go into, and I think he even called for it, so we'll go into it and come on. When he was running to the courts and coming back as if it is his ball that has been seized and he's running to his mother, the former Chief Justice, and he was doing all the things he could do without go to court today and get judgment. We complain about what happened.
And also the vacated seats saga.
Yes. When he was running to court in and out between court and Parliament and doing all the things he could do, when we complain, what happened? And so why would they have the mouth and be talking as if they are the only lawyers in this country? I thought they said they were a bunch of lawyers. And now they behave as if they don't know what they profess they are.
Honorable
why are they making it look as if they are the only ones who can talk in Ghana?
Look, thank you very much. I'll come to Koshi, and of course, we've been joined by Mr. Kwesi Kwarteng, Esquire of the New Patriotic Party. I was tempted to say of the Kennedy campaign, but he's a member of the party. So
I know the issue.
I was tempted to, but I didn't. So it's fine. You're welcome. You're welcome. Koshi, in the past, we know that when judges are given rulings, right, they'll usually look out for the historical context of the matter. They'll also look at the consequences of their decision. In fact, sometimes they look at the legislature's intent when the law was being framed. Now, I look at the ruling from the judge, and the reason for keeping Abronye up until May 27 is because he felt that he had the propensity to repeat the offense, having done same in the past. Are you convinced by the ruling, and do you get the sense that it is in the best interest based on what I've outlined as far as justice delivery is concerned?
Okay. Now, having listened to the premise of the ruling, I'm tempted to align with the judge, because it is his fellow judge who was also described in such unsavory terms by Abronye, and a repeated offense. So he thinks that, look, letting this guy out again, he may just go and attack me in this matter. So, because look, we need to appreciate that judges are also human. But not just that, he didn't just do it flimsily. He cited law in this case. So I think that I'm inclined to align myself with the ruling. But I also think that we need to discuss this matter in the bigger issue of what kind of society are we trying to build? Is unruly language the kind of society we want to promote? When people quickly come and say, oh, he has a right to free speech, is that what we want to use free speech to promote? These are questions that we must ask of ourselves as a society, rather than simply looking at the wording of the law and say the law says free speech. What should free speech help us attain as a society? What should it be used for? So rather than just going to the text of the law and making arguments, we must also ask ourselves as a society, what kind of society do we want to build? Do we want to build a society where we encourage young people to be able to attack people in unsavory language? Or we want a society where people respect order, and when they think that their rights are even being abused, they will go through the channels for redress, rather than stand out in public there and insult and describe people in manners that are not appropriate. So I think that we need to balance these issues very carefully. This idea of promoting free speech unlimited as a way or as a right in itself should be balanced by the fact that we want to build a certain orderly society. We want to build systems. Now, if you listen to everybody, we have all accepted that the judiciary is one of the weakest arms of the three arms of government. Weak in the sense that it has been the one that has been most abused by previous governments. Coup d'etats, judges have been murdered, issues like that. So in trying to build a system where there are equal checks and balances, we need to be mindful how we treat the judiciary. We may not be happy with the rulings they give, yes, but the law also says that you can critique the ruling, but you don't go making personal attacks and making inflammatory comments where people then take it as personal, and therefore they may think that it is their responsibility to go and seek redress by directly attacking a judge or a person. So I think that we need to be mindful in the way we speak in all of this matter. So I think that Afenyo-Markin being a leader in this country is not just any ordinary person. Being a leader must demonstrate through example how he leads his people and how he speaks on matters like that. He himself is also a lawyer. And I hear the Ghana Bar Association saying that it's a breach of ethics. And that for me is strong. You see, we as professionals in this country need to follow ethics, because that is what guides the problem. It is the unwritten law about how we conduct ourselves. So when we simply go out there and speak anyhow and authoritatively say that we will do it again, we will disrespect the person, I mean, that is not language you should be putting out there in public, because then there are students, there are people learning, and they are saying, is that the kind of society we want to build?
There are others.
Is that the way we should speak about things like that? So for me, I think that I tend to align with the judgment, and I think that based on the fact that the judge also cited law, and he also cited previous conduct, I think that he's in his right place.
There are others, of course. So we know that it's undeniable that some of these reckless speeches, and I'm not saying this particular case, but the kind of vitriol and the insults we see is clearly a threat to our growing civility as a people, and we need to curb that. But there are others who have also opined, giving legal arguments to the effect that this comment by Abronye at West is defamatory and doesn't necessarily disturb the public peace, in a manner that the court wants us to believe under Section 208. So if you listen to his comments carefully and you compare to what others have said in the past, do you get a sense that the court was really fair in this ruling?
You see, we can go back in the past because, again, looking at the kind of political system we are building, where if you are able to pursue the campaign of the opposition so well by being the most vociferous, the most attacking person, almost like an attack dog, then you get rewarded when we win power. Because that is what all the political parties have demonstrated. The most vociferous of people, those who are able to attack, insult the most, are the people who get rewarded when we come into political office. Because we've seen that with the NDC, we've seen that with the NPP, all through the years. And I think that is threatening the kind of society we want to build and the cohesion within the society. Yes, the lawyers for Abronye can argue their case that, yes, look, what he said may be a minor issue, it doesn't threaten the peace and all that. But that is an argument that must be made in court. It must not be within the comments of the leader of the minority to be attacking a judge and breaching ethics. So for me, this is where we must draw the balance. Yes, make your arguments in court, go and debate the issue before a judge, and let the rule. And that is why there are also appeals that can be made. So I think that in trying to build systems and trying to build a stronger society, we must be mindful about the language that we put out there in public. Because if we don't accept the rulings of the court, then what are we saying?
There's
because
no alternative.
Exactly. So we are saying that we are going to call uprising. And if you listen to the comments of the national organizer at the moment, I mean, clearly you say you're going to be. So again, we must be careful because we either respect the system that we have chosen or we don't, and that can lead to chaos.
And it's interesting you say this because there are comments that have said that it's the last alternative, the bastion of our democracy, and if it's down, then we really don't have anything else to do. But let me come to Kwesi Kwarteng, who himself in the past was on the receiving end of his own party members' vitriol and attacks. I'm really interested in whether
he's leading you. He's leading me.
But
it's a leading question designed to solicit one
explicit answer
response. But
no. Is there a statement of fact that he attacked your candidate?
In Abronye.
Abronye.
Yeah, I think
it's a statement of fact.
It's a statement
so
of fact.
How am I misleading you?
No. I'm not saying you are misleading me. You see,
you are leading.
The question is designed to lead me to solicit certain response.
There's no ill motive here.
I mean, very well.
Please go ahead. What do you make of all that has happened, even to begin with?
So, first of all, good morning to you and to our cherished viewers. Let me say that I find myself in a completely difficult position.
Yeah, I can see.
One who have to, especially, the premise that you set, that Abronye attacked my boss. Of course, Ken Ejapon, I still speak for him. And, there's been a series of attacks and whatsoever. But, coming here, I chose to come on one main basis. That, first of all, my fidelity is to the law and the facts. Other than that, there wouldn't be any point to even attempt in the name of party politics or party communication to come and defend what ordinarily you may have reservations on. I want to give you some example beyond the Abronye case. Recall the Agrada case, Agrada incident. I have not read her charge sheet
But last time I was discussing with my students, I teach students law and ethics. So I'm sure even as I sit here to comment on this, the expectation will also be
it's high.
very high.
You are teaching as well.
Yes, I'm teaching as well. And so they'll be marking me whether the things I tell them in the classroom reflects in my political and daily life. But I want to create some kind of connection or relation with the Agrada issue, for instance. Remember the case before the court then. My students tell me, I've not had the opportunity to read the charge, but my students tell me, usually we discuss some of these matters. They said the case was about two individuals or complainants who said Agrada has defrauded them. I think one to the tune of 500 cedis, another to the tune of 200 cedis. But yet the judge initially awarded or convicted Agrada for about 15 years. In such situation, one can clearly see that the charge has gone beyond the facts before him or her in the court, and now imported the character of Agrada inside the court, so far as the matter is being heard. And so when that happens, your fidelity may not necessarily be to the law. And it's understandable. The judges are human beings. They watch TV, they watch social media, they listen to the commentaries around, they hear this, they hear that. And so there is a temptation for you to import certain matters that is not before you, and then mischaracterize the person and base your judgment on that. So there is that tendency. And I see the same thing being played out in the Abronya incident. I have the ruling here by court, and if I am permitted to, yes, just a portion. Is that the court is of the view that when granted bail, the accused will commit further offenses. Please, the key word here that I want us to learn here is will. The court is of the view that when granted bail, the accused will commit further offenses. This court specifically relies on section 96(5)(c) and D of Act 30 of 1960. Now let's refer to the Act and then look at whether indeed that was the position of the law. If you look at the Act 30, section 96(5)(c), it talks about section 96(5)(c) provides that the court shall refuse to grant a bail if it is satisfied that the defendant may not appear to stand trial, may interfere with the witness or the defendants in any way hamper police investigation. The C, where the judge benchmark the decision on, may commit a further offense when on bail. Now, this one uses may. So when you are convinced that the accused person may commit an offense, when giving bail, you have the discretion not to grant the bail. But in this circumstance, the judge does not even say may. The judge says the court is of the view that when granted bail, the accused person will commit further offenses. In this instance, the judge has even moved from the requirement of the provision in under section 96(5)(c), which even uses may. May is speculative. As soon as you use will, then it presupposes that you are very conclusive and you are damn sure that the guy will commit an offense.
But is there not precedence? Exactly. Is there not precedence to this? Because we know also that he was standing trial in a similar case.
If I am allowed to land, I knew all these questions were coming. You see, it is based on the precedence, right?
Yes.
I'm coming. No two ways about it. It is based on the precedence. That is why the section, the Act 30, section 96(5)(c), provides that the accused may means that there is a possibility that the person could do it. But as soon as you say well, then you are definitely sure that the person is going to do it. And well means that you have to provide basis upon which that determination or that the wording will is used. And the judge is not in the position to do that. Probably, even at worst, has to be the prosecutor. The prosecutor may even have to say that, well, we believe that he will do that.
But that was the prosecutor's argument in court.
No two ways about that. But it's not the prosecutor's argument, that is the judgment. The judgment of the court, the judges use will. And I'm saying that the use of the will is completely prejudicial. Now, I'm going to look at the merit of the ruling before I come to a finance issue. I'm not going to run away from it. And I'm saying that from the ruling here, if you use will, you have to provide basis, enough evidence to support that claim that indeed you are damn sure that he will do that. Even the provision of the act uses may. So on what basis will the judge go beyond may and say that well? As soon as you say well, then you have to provide evidence to support that. And you are not the prosecutor, you are a judge. So on what basis, where are you going to get the evidence? That is why other school of thought believe that the use of will put the judge in a prejudicial state. Believe me, if the judge had used may, which is the requirement and the standard set out under Section 96(5)(c) of Act 80, I wouldn't probably have even come for the show.
Let's move to the next thing.
So the judge was prejudicial, and as soon as you become prejudicial, you see the honorable is laughing.
So if I get your point well,
No,
you
the
feel like
judge was wrong.
No, so you feel like he's imported other things out of the case based on the accused person's personality and previous conduct.
Exactly.
And has based that to judge on the matter.
That is the basis. That is the only reasonable conclusion upon which anybody will say that, well, it makes sense for the judge should have used well. Other than that, on what basis will you say that? So, you see, in even reading 96(5)(c) of Act 30, you also have to make recourse to the provisions of the Constitution and Article 19. Article 19 is very succinct, expressly clear that every accused person will be presumed innocent until proven guilty. It is on the basis why Martin Kwebu won his case when it comes to this bail stuff. So at every point, you look at the same provision under Section 96, it talks about the fact that bail, at no point should you use bail as a basis of punishment.
But does it matter that on the 13th of April, he was granted police enquiry bail after being found to have allegedly committed the same offense? So there is some history to this.
No two ways about that.
It's not coming out of the blue.
No two ways. I'm saying that it is not in the place of the judge to make that pronouncement that he will. At best, the judge could have said he may. This is what we are talking about. It is not in the place of the judge to state that the guy will do that. If you do that, then you have to support by evidence. But you are not the prosecutor, so why are you going to provide the evidence? You are the arbiter. And mind you, as soon as the guy comes before you, the accused comes before you, he is presumed innocent until proven guilty. But here is a judge who then, goes about probably looking into the history. I'm sure he's social media friendly. So he has been looking at the things Abonya has been saying, whether against the clergy, whether
based on that
to import Abonya's personality into the facts presented before him.
What is your position?
For me, he was
what's your position on Apenyo Makin's comments to the judge?
Leave the me and will go to the next thing.
Don't worry.
That's why you guys be there.
No, that's why. I give him my time.
What's your position? I mean, the Ghana Bar Association, they've come out to say it
You've
was
asked me my
unethical.
position.
I want to give a proper context to it. You're a law lecturer.
Yes, I teach law and ethics.
Yeah. So, what do you agree with anything that the member of parliament for Ifutu said?
Let me not necessarily narrow it down to Mr. Markin. Let me even broaden the scope. That if any commentary that cross. No, I'm not running away.
We talk about Apenyo Makin.
Oh,
that's why we are here.
He's interrupting me. Honorable is interrupting me. Honorable MP is interrupting me. He's spoiling my flow. Please caution him.
But let's limit it to Apenyo.
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's a political platform. Yes, Apenyo inclusive. I'm saying that if any comment, you see, first of all, judges are not beyond criticisms, and we must not misconstrue criticisms or judicial accountability to mean an attack on the judiciary. But at the same time, we must also be measured. I teach law and ethics. And of course, at every point, I tell my students that even in criticizing the judgment of the court, you have to do it in the matter of dignity and decorum and respect to the court. So any comment by whosoever individual, whether it's Apenyo Makin, for instance, some of the comments that was made, whether it was President Mahama, I mean, comments have been made in the past that we are coming to clean the judiciary. I mean, MDs, you have that history. I'm coming. Oh, honorable, stop the swear, man. Remember, Dr. Kwambeje, you said there are many ways of killing a cat. Comments like what the current majority leader said, that he doesn't think there is any knowledgeable person at the Supreme Court. These are all comments, even including the one recently said by Apenyo Makin. If you take all these comments and put them before the table, I do not support any comment that personalize an attack or personalize issues on the judiciary. Because as a lawyer and as a citizen of Ghana, first of all, my fidelity is to the law and to the justice system. And I mean, I am always biased towards protecting state institutions. This is my view. They are the state institutions are run by human beings. They are not run by angels. They are not run by robots. So certainly you may get some infallibilities and excesses. No two ways about that. But when those excesses or infallibilities, and even the law itself envisage that is how come it gives records that you can go for appeal, you can go even as high as to the Supreme Court to the extent that you can even go for review. So there are processes laid down for that. As soon as that process is coming, then it presupposes that even the law envisages that there could be that human infallibilities and errors in the judicial system, just like I pointed out from the judgment. But your reaction to such thing in an attempt to demand accountability must not necessarily be an attack.
So do you support the parliamentary probe into the comments and conduct of the minority leader?
No, I do not. You see,
but how can you on one breath say that it is concerning for the judiciary and to an extent delegitimizes the court and not support an inquiry into ensuring that some of these things
remember what the premise I gave was a general premise. So I was not necessarily particular about
of which Apenu was part of.
Yeah, it was a general
premise. So it means that
premise.
it applies to his case as well.
Obviously, I mean the case of majority leader.
So then, how come you don't support a probe to address this?
This is what I believe. You see, we should not reduce Parliament. We should be very mindful of that. That balance has to be there. We need to be very careful of that, so that we reduce Parliament to a chamber that police speeches of criticisms against the judiciary. We must be very mindful of that. Parliament is an institution, it has its own mandate. Of course, I mean, it has its disciplinary chamber, disciplinary committee on oversight and blah, 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 blah. I mean, if the judge today or the judiciary today feels that what Markin said is in contempt of the court, they have that power to summon him before the court and answer to why he should not be held liable for contempt. Such institution is there, which is the judiciary, created by the law, and the law gives them that prerogative of that powers. I am not interested in the over-politicization of some of these matters. To the extent that you reduce Parliament to a chamber or an institution that polices people's speech on criticisms against
I'll let
the
you
judiciary.
respond to that, but I want to come to Koshi briefly. But in a nutshell, you agree Honorable Apenu Markin crossed the line. Very briefly, this is a yes or no answer.
Oh, why am I under cross-examination? I'm not especially under cross-examination.
Because your students are watching, and they want to know your position. So it's a simple answer.
No. Why do you ask me a question and give me how to respond?
Your students are watching.
Because you've explained that, like he and many others, it's not the best. Because if I get you correctly, it delegitimizes the court.
That's our answer. I don't think you are being fair to Ken today. He's not even mentioning any.
I want him to say.
Kwesi, you respond.
I don't think it's fair to him. Well, judicial independence and public accountability are not enemies. The two can go together. But at the same time, we must also ensure that even if you look at the Act 32. That is the Legal Professions Act and the LI 2423. I mean, it requires lawyers to demonstrate the highest form of...
So Apenu was wrong. He wasn't wrong.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm never saying he was wrong. I am saying that at the end of the day, judicial independence and public accountability are not enemies. But in demanding accountability from the judiciary system, especially from such patent error of law, which people may perceive that is political.
Some people say he's trying to overcompensate for supporting your candidate and trying to catch the eye of Baumia.
Yes.
Have you heard those comments?
You see, let me answer it. Such things have...
Did he support your campaign?
I'm coming.
Was he part of the Kennedy campaign?
Openly, I wouldn't say so.
But how about behind closed doors?
No. You see, me, I'm a very I like to engage issues, right?
Yeah.
I like to engage issues. You see, from the figures that we had from his constituency, it appears
he supported your campaign.
It appears so, but openly he demonstrated his posture as a neutral person, and of course became a leader of the party as he's supposed to be.
And in closed doors.
And he spoke openly about it. He spoke about it.
You see, it is not in dispute that he has a relationship with Ken.
Yes.
And Ken is a party member.
So did he support? He can have a relationship with Ken and not support the campaign.
Except for what Ken did for him.
personally.
Oh, if the records are there, then why are you asking me? The records are
Listen, thank you very much. But you didn't answer whether he was wrong, and that is on record. You didn't answer whether he was wrong or right.
I am telling you
you didn't answer.
Telling you that what he did was demanding judicial accountability, which is within his right as a citizen.
Did he do it in the right way or in the wrong way?
The court has the power to determine.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll come back to you. Koshi, let me just get your thoughts right. There are concerns that some of these vitriol directed at our judges, what it does in the long term is that it delegitimizes the court and its powers. And in a country like ours, there are many things happening in the court. You only hear about some of the high-profile ones because it's politics. And there are many people who are getting very important justice served, right? And that we need to protect the court. But with this parliamentary probe, are you convinced that Parliament is the right agency to conduct such a probe, based on all that we know about how Parliament works sometimes and the executive control over it to an extent?
No, clearly, again, the history of our Parliament itself does not show that it holds its own members accountable. Because we have seen in the past where members have been prosecuted for insurance fraud, drug trafficking and issues like that. At no point did the Parliament itself seem to respond in any way to show that it was interested in holding its own people accountable, rather than just playing partisan politics. So I think that I would also not support a parliamentary probe.
Really?
I think that what the judges need to do is that they can, like he has said, be able to call up Enyimaka and say, look, we think that what you have done is...
so that he has his day in court.
Yes, so he has his day in court in terms of contempt. Because you see, the judiciary itself must also be seen as upholding and ensuring that people respect the law and do things properly. So I would think that I'll leave it to the judiciary to do their own actions in terms of inviting him to a query, so that we don't leave it for Parliament to go play politics with this in Parliament, and leave it to the judges to deal with it. Because I'm concerned again that the history of how we have treated judges in this country, we need to be wary of it. Where people have been killed. I mean, this is history. So we need to be mindful. Look, we all may have our day in court, and we can be very angry or emotional about the ruling of the court. But the law also provides avenues for redress. And we need to be careful not to create a country of chaos. So I would plead with all persons who find the ruling of the court distasteful to hold their breath and balance it with how they speak to the issue. If, like the gentleman Kwesi Kwarteng has said, the ruling of the judge is wrong based on his reading of the law, that is his interpretation. So that is why you can then go to court and then say, look, will and may are not the same, and therefore I'm seeking redress. And let's do it properly.
That's not semantics.
Exactly, but not to go out there. No, it may sound like semantics, but you must go to court and argue your case and prove it. Because the judge has made a ruling. So go out there and seek an appeal. But to go out there and insult and attack his personality, it's a no-no.
The minority have come out with a list of close to 16 individuals who they believe have been unfairly treated with this section 208 of the criminal code, and they say that it is government's tactics of suppressing dissenting opinion and critics of this government. It's a Abronye Fanti Comedy, apparently it's a TikToker on social media. Baba Mando, who's an MPP executive, Gordon Asari Bediako, who's a journalist. They say even Paul Adomotre, say Obama. Do you get the sense that, and of course, we also know that there's the misinformation, disinformation, and the hate bill, which is to replace aspects of 208 and even the Electronic Communications Act, right, which criminalizes online behavior that appears to be in line with this. is there a problem, right? And are they justified in their criticism to say that government is weaponizing the law, particularly 207 and 208?
I don't think so. The law, as it is something we've all promulgated. It's a making of us, especially Parliament. We made the laws. And so if we allowed it to be there, why is it that today we are saying that if it is being used, then it is an act to punish people or to stifle free speech? I don't believe so. Like my senior brother has said, these are things we should do. We need civility in our system. People speak anyhow and walk away. I was trying to remind Kwesi about some of the things his boss said in the past that he had to go to apologize. You remember he attacked a High Court judge, Amos Wuni, and said, you are a stupid judge. I'll deal with you. I'll face you. You are an animal. He said all these things in the past.
You want to discuss Ken here? We may not finish the show.
Oh no, I'm not talking about Ken. I'm saying that some of the things some of our leaders have said in the past that has maybe empowered some younger ones to also follow after their footsteps to do things because they did it with impunity and nobody cared. He only came to apologize and left, and nobody really took it seriously. That's why some people today can also wake up and say some of the things we are hearing. Apollo is noted for saying some of that. That's why I started by saying that he may not be too different from Abronye DC that he's defending. He's a parliamentarian. He's one of our own. So we'll decide that if one of our own is going out of order, we'll bring him to order. So to just go and level that allegation against the judiciary, like people said, Parliament doesn't treat their own, when it comes to their own, they don't take it seriously. Those are some of the things we had to do. The last time we had that brouhaha in Parliament when chairs and the mic and other things were broken, a committee has been formed and the report is ready. It will be late. See, so it's not that when one of us offend the law, then we leave them to go scot-free. Aponye is one of us. He's the leader of the minority. So if we decide that we want to investigate, we are clothed with that authority. And I'm sure once the motion is laid and then it's taken, we'll go through it. He himself was ready for it. He was only asking that we shouldn't use our numbers to undermine whatever he felt was the right thing that should be done. Once you level allegation against the judiciary, which should be an independent body, you think that we should leave you scot-free. So if the judiciary also decide to invite him or summon him like he dared them, he will go. But Parliament itself will also want to look at the matters to see whether there are some credence to whatever he was alleged.
I think the point has been well made. I want us to move to the second topic, right, which is in a way still directly linked to this.
Who didn't have a bite on this?
No, you spoke over 30 minutes.
But you came even before me. You went.
But I spoke for only 5 minutes.
You made your point, and I think it went.
Even after he's drawn my boss in,
it wasn't
it's not appropriate for me to respond.
Let it slide. Thank you.
So the next, I'm being. Let me rephrase.
I'll give you.
It's not fair.
I'll give you time to. I'll give you time to address.
And this is the same thing that the judge did. That got that criticism.
Somebody sit here. How you also bringing the judge into it?
Somebody sit here.
I'll give you time to.
Somebody sit here. The point is not being discussed.
No, he made a point about what leaders have said in this country. It wasn't directly to.
For the record.
The second. I'll give you time. The second conversation we want to look at is
you just want to bully me,
your youth organizer's comments, and I'm referring to Salam Mustafa, who's the youth organizer of the New Patriotic Party, and he made the comments after the MPP presented a petition to the diplomatic corps, raising concerns around the government's handling of dissenting opinion and critics, and they said that it's a stark reminder of a very dark past in this country's history that we don't want to revisit. And they even compare it to the seditious criminal libel law. Now, these are the words of Salam Mustafa. And he says, if this nonsense doesn't stop, we will weaponize our support base and make this country extremely ungovernable for them. We are sending this warning and caution to the government to release Abronye. Otherwise, should anything happen to Abronye in custody, you will have to contend with us, he said. And he made these comments when he was speaking to journalists during a courtesy call by the MPP on the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps to raise concerns about developments in the country, specifically on the Abronye case and other similar matters. Are we raising the temperature of the country too much with some of these incendiary remarks? Koshi, then I'll come to you, Kosi.
Specifically, yes. Again, it's based on the behaviors that have been seen to be rewarded in public. So clearly, Salam is looking at it and saying, look, if I am very vociferous, if I can be very intemperate and inflammatory with my language, hopefully the MPP wins, I'm going to get a position.
He's a youth organizer. He leads a whole base of young people.
Yes.
Right?
So again, I'm saying that we need to always look at the society we want to build. When you talk like that, is that not a threat in itself to the state? Now, if I were in government, how should I respond based on law that is available to me? How should I respond? So I am always one person who says that this idea of criminal libel law, the repeal of the criminal libel law, we also need to be mindful at the cost of seeking redress in court. So when someone goes out there openly and insults me, an ordinary person, says all manner of things about me, then they say, oh, I should go look for a lawyer and go and seek redress in court. My time, my everything, and money. And we know
whatever has been said,
it's out there in public. It's out there in public. You see, so these are the things that we need to look at as a society and say, look, the fact that we have repealed the criminal libel law, which doesn't place the onus on the state to seek prosecution, does not mean that people should be encouraged to go out there and simply insult, attack people anyhow. Clearly, the statements he's made, if you look at law available, would amount to a threat to the state. Now, if the state responds, you see people from the opposition again clamoring and saying, let's do demonstration. Again, let's go out there on the streets and let's do this. These are tactics that both political parties have used in the past and continue to use. The question is that the way to seek redress? Is that the procedure that we have laid down as a people, that when you feel offended, you must follow? So even the political parties and the parliament that goes out there to make all these laws, when they feel offended, they say, let's use another method. And then you expect ordinary people to sit down and follow the course of law. So again, there's contradiction in the way our politicians behave and the way they expect us as ordinary citizens to behave. And that, again, is not the way to go as a country.
We reward
bad behavior.
Indiscipline.
Exactly, we reward indiscipline.
And we wonder why it festers.
Exactly, and we wonder why it festers. Look at all our MPs. Look at the state institutions. Look at the various forces, armed forces, police, fire service, all men in uniform. Today, go onto our streets. All of them think that they are not to endure the traffic, so they must be given way. Is that the way things must be done? Is that what is specified in the law? For me, these are things that the political actors need to look at very carefully. So clearly, all our politicians, being the people in opposition, being the people in government, are being told that optics are important. Substance doesn't matter.
They call it settings.
Yes, settings. Go out there and act it out. Invigorate the people, energize them, threaten the state. We will reward you when we get into power.
To what point, right? Because it's the country's democracy we are talking about.
Exactly. So you see, that is why leadership needs to be deliberate in spite of the anger you may feel or the emotions that you feel. And that is why you don't go out there and speak like that.
Interesting.
Leadership, you see, because when you are in a leadership position, your job is to guide the people who have elected you, rather than be emotionally inflaming them and calling them to action like that.
It was an irresponsible comment?
It is. For me, it is an irresponsible comment.
Kwesi?
Well, I mean, I think I have my time. You said I was going to be given the opportunity to react. Let me say that in extension of the much more reckless comments that has been made by highly politically exposed individuals, and especially maybe extending the scope of the said probe by Parliament, if you have to go by what Honorable is saying, probably should be starting from President Mahama first, because he's on record to have described the judiciary as an MPP judiciary, a unanimous FC, and that even formed the basis upon which this Chief Justice was removed.
The quote I have from the President suggested that it was public perception and not his comment being attributed to him. So it was like, if you go to the streets, people are saying,
you can.
It's not the same as saying that it is an MPP bench.
You can do the PR about it. Please respectfully, humans are rational beings. Humans are rational beings. I mean, this is a president who has stood on a platform during the heat of the campaign, describe his opponent as stupid and or whatever. So if today you are doing
I don't recall that.
Oh,
I don't recall that.
Mahama.
Where's the evidence? Who did you call that?
I'm not the one to make a research. I've said his opponent. When
No,
he said
but
stupid,
you have to. When you allege, you have to bring evidence. You can't just come and say.
no, I have said.
Who did you call stupid?
Respectfully, you see, can you? I don't want the heckling. I don't just
because you made a categorical point.
Would you allow me to respond?
Please respond.
Would you allow me to respond?
Please go ahead.
I am saying that during the heat of the moment, is on record, Google. I'm not the one to do your research for you.
But you've alleged. You have to prove it.
What is the proof? I have said the president said.
Who did he call stupid?
Respectfully. I said his opponent. But you didn't listen to me.
Which of them?
Jesus Christ. Can I land?
Honorable,
I have made a claim. I've made a claim. I've given you the base of the claim. I have mentioned the figures. I have mentioned the personalities involved. And you are still asking for proof. Or is
Who did he call stupid?
Because we don't have you can't
Say he
allege
called
a claim like this and not so like who did he say it against? Where did he say it? So that we can easily verify it. Other than that, then
I am saying that he said it on a political campaign platform against his opponent prior to the 2024 election.
Okay.
So I have given you the basis upon which I lay my claim. You probably may also have to say that it is not true. You didn't find it. I have. No, you see. Listen. When you talk about proof, proof is not that simplistic. It is only when I lay a claim and makes it hanging. That is where you ask for proof. When I lay a claim and give a basis upon the claim, you don't say there should be a proof. No, I'm coming. Beyond that, if there are people who have made reckless comment, the majority leader, the current majority leader, is on record to have described the Supreme Court as not being eligible. Are you also going to bring them for your discussion and bring them to the parliamentary probe? So when you're having any parliamentary probe, you should extend the probe to President Mahama first, and also to the current
deal with Salam. They will go
and to the current majority leader. Now on Salam, you see, I do not interpret Salam's statement. I mean, because we want to turn the show political. It will be political.
It's not a political show.
You bring Kennedy is there. You bring in and I brought him. Can we proceed?
Yes,
and please, if he heckles me, I'm going to note all of them down. If it is 5 times, I'll do 5 times. Then we proceed.
I beg you.
Very well. So what I'm saying is that I do not interpret Salam's statements as a call for violence or an attack or on the government.
Should I read a statement for you again? Maybe you didn't really get it. His words are, if this nonsense doesn't stop, we will weaponize. Weapons is violence, or connotes violence. Our support base and make this country extremely ungovernable. We are sending this warning and caution to government to release Abronya. Otherwise, should anything happen to Abronya in custody, you would have us to contend with.
If you had allowed me to lie, I'm sure you would have read it again. Because there's no way I'll be responding to things that I've not read it. But this is the basis. I'm saying that I've read it. That's why I said that I do not interpret Salam's comment as a call for violence. You see, for me, this is what I believe. That is an expression of frustration.
Kwesi, are you being for real?
Oh yes, an expression of frustration from what many supporters perceive. Again, you brought in the argument about perception. It's an expression of frustration from what many of our party members and our supporters perceive to be selective and unfair application of the law and mistreatment of opposition figures. And I'm going to give you example, just few ones, to buttress the claim about the perception out there, of which I feel that Salam, as an individual who carries the higher burden as a national youth organizer, faces or feels that frustration. I give you a case of one David Esando, who was arrested on 11th of May 2026. Do you know the basis of his arrest? He posted a picture mocking the president that Doom saw his back. This is an MPP guy and a pure MPP activist. And on that basis, a whole BNI, the state security apparatus, went for him. If you were a member of the MPP, or if you are the youth organizer, national youth organizer of the MPP, wouldn't you be frustrated? Wouldn't you be worried about some of these things? I'll give you another example. Kofi Ofosun Cancer, who was also arrested on February 10, 2026. The former NEP CEO was arrested by the BNI. Do you know what he did? There's a guy who volunteered information to the state a good feedback to the state that there are some instances that he knows that scholarships awards are being transacted where monies are being paid.
On that case, we're told he was asked to come and provide evidence, and he refused the invitation.
Told by who? Now that you are asking for evidence and proof, told by who?
Government spokespersons at the time.
Who? Me, I have not heard it. Those are the reports and accounts that you are giving. But I'm saying that the facts remain the same. That if a gentleman puts information out there and you need him to even assist you, as we are to go by the logic that they are advancing, you don't arrest him in that Rambo style as they did. Again, I give you another instance of one Alfred Adenta Kumi, who was also arrested on May 23, 2025, during a dawn raid. And you know his crime? This is a guy who had petitioned the president that he suspects or he has some reasonable basis to believe that some Supreme Court justices have been engaged in some transactions, bribery transactions. And this is a guy who petitioned the office of the president, later posted the copies of the petition on social media, and they raided at dawn his residence to arrest him.
I'll take a break and come back and we'll continue the conversation.
It appears anytime I'm flowing you find a nice way of
we have to pay them.
Disrupting you.
Good morning, Jude. Whatever being the subject for discussion on your platform is worth it. What is the MP saying? Is he able to cite examples of some unpleasant utterances on the other side of the political divide, but keep a blind eye on what the president is doing? Kevin Taylor and the likes of the NDC. What is wrong with submitting to paint your political opponent as evil? Is not the best of submission. This Kojo Malfo from Kwewu Jamase. From Mystic Wonder inside in Sarum in Adroeji says the deputy communication officer for the he says the MPP is either being intellectually bankrupt, being hypocrite, or suffering from leadership crisis, making noise. Free speech comes with responsibility, and that's why the responsible MPP members are working freely. In fact, the MPP can petition the UN General Secretary, but if they continue to abuse free speech, they will be dealt with. Jude, it's clear Kwesi doesn't want to comment on Afenyo Markin because he supported his boss during his presidential bid to lead the MPP. Facts are facts, you say, and this is Ni Adote watching Inside Teshi. I like what Honorable Maxwell Lukuto's point on Afenyo Markin. He needs to be reigning. He's not the only one who has an opinion in this country. For God's sake, he's the minority leader and he must act same. Interesting submissions on the show. We need to call the government to order. They are abusing their authority in dealing with dissent. And this is coming in from J. Kumi, who is doing the watching right now. Good morning. This is Abdul Ganiu Mankarigu from Savannah region. We support Afenyo Markin's remarks against the judge. We cannot sit down and watch a judge act in the interest of a government instead of upholding the constitution, you say. We'll take a quick break. When we are back, there's more right here on Breakfast Daily. Don't go away.
I'm ready to give it my all, my talent, dedication, heart, everything for this journey. What's all this?
Welcome to the Breakers.
You need more than rhythm to survive these phases.
Turn up your sound experience with the We Hear speakers by Lovi. From the sleek We Hear 1 to the powerful We Hear 2. And now the premium We Hear Pro. Fully endorsed by Kylian Mbappe. This is not just a speaker, it's a flexible, high-performance outdoor Bluetooth speaker built to bring your music to life anywhere. With up to 100 watts of music power, you get bold, immersive sound wherever you go. All available in stylish standout colors. Now the Good news! From April 20th to May 20th, grab yours at a special discounted price. The We Hear 1 now at 400 Ghana cedis, the We Hear 2 at 900 Ghana cedis, and the premium We Hear Pro now at 3,800 Ghana cedis. Don't miss out. Call 020-195-7739 or pick up at the Atlantic Towers. You can also grab yours at Orange FM Kumasi, Plus FM or 3 Music TV in Accra. Number 12 Afunya Street at Belengpe. Don't miss out on this special discounted offer. It's the We Hear promo powered by Lovi. We Hear, feel the power, hear the difference.
June to 19 July, everything can wait. The FIFA World Cup 2026. Catch all 104 matches from as little as 58 Ghana cedis live on SuperSport, only on DSTV.
Life is a celebration of moments, big and small.
The sun is scorching, I'm feeling the heat.
With Piva Drink, every moment becomes a refreshing celebration. From the beach to your home, in every corner of your world, Piva Drink at a burst of refreshment.
And orange, give me Piva cocktail and tangerine.
Celebrate every moment with Piva Drink. Refreshment for every occasion. Piva Drink, a taste you will love.
P for Piva.
This advert is FDA approved.
Well, with these results, you can do medicine, law, everything.
But uncle, are you sure?
I am the Ministry of Education in this house.
You, Ministry of what education? My daughter, do nursing. It's your best chance with this result.
No, go business. Oh, please, what do you know? Can you even read?
Go become YouTuber like me.
Use Admissions Checker.
Admissions Checker? Yes, Admissions Checker. Ghana's first university admissions hub. Just sign up at admissionschecker.com. Enter your WASI or NOVEC results. Choose your dream universities and programs and instantly find out exactly where you have the best chances of admission.
Wow, what if I want scholarship abroad?
Simple. Tap scholarships and find opportunities too.
Can it also find husband abroad?
Admissions Checker. There is a university and a course for everyone.
Yeah, welcome back. This is Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 TV. My name is Jude Duncan. Koshi Dede in studio with me, an engineer and an analyst, the MPP's Kwesi Kwarteng, who's a law lecturer and also a communications team member for the MPP's in studio. Member of Parliament for South Tom Maxwell Lukuto is also in the studio, honorable, clad in his really regal Batakari, supporting Fugu Wednesday government intervention. And we are delving into the big stories, right? From the courts, also looking at issues of partisan concerns. The next conversation that will be coming up shortly is on the arrest of the Member of Parliament for Asante Akim North, who is set to face a Dutch court tomorrow. We'll be looking at that issue as well. But just before we delve into that, we'll take final thoughts on the comments by the youth organizer of the New Patriotic Party, Salam Mustafa, who said that he was going to weaponize the young people of the NPP to make this country ungovernable. To be fair, let me say it's a comment that has drawn significant criticism and condemnation from some onlookers who say that that is not the kind of rhetoric to put out, considering the political, nature of how things are going in the country. And I don't know, Kwesi, you were making a point. Yes.
I mean, my point was that, you see, if you are not in the country and you have not been living here, and probably you live in the UK or US, and you see such a video, you will be greatly alarmed. But if you live here, and you understand the geopolitics here and how state institutions has been abused, misused against its own citizens, I think you get the context and the circumstances within which the comment was said. I mean, I am a communication person, so probably I would have used a more softer language. But the National Youth Organizer, he carries the greater burden. And you see, most important thing is that when citizens feel that they are targeted, that is where political resistance becomes high. And you give room for leaders of political parties, especially people like Salam, to then express his frustration through such medium. So for me, I feel that the greater issue that needs to be addressed has to do with the concern he's bringing out, the concern about the political victimization and the targeted victimization of opposition figures.
You speak for over 30% of your party faithfuls who supported the candidates you were with during the MPP presidential primaries. And if you won't use those words, no matter how charged you are or even angry, then it should be easy for you to condemn it and say that it is wrong. And
I think it's a communication style. I mean, people speak with. You see, for instance, it's about if you have learned diplomatic language, the same drink the water as a command. People may have different approaches of saying it. Probably I would have used a softer tone. So it's the approach and the style. But he is a National Youth Organizer. I mean, sometimes he needs to create the impression that we are not weak. Remember when President Mahama said that?
To what effect?
I'm coming.
Or at what cost?
I'm coming. Remember when President Mahama said that when it comes to unleashing violence, nobody can beat the NDC to that.
But we condemn that.
No two ways about that. But most important thing is that the comment of that, the context and the circumstances under which those comments were made ought also to be looked at. If you mix the context, you only be discussing the pretext. When was that comment made? I mean, no matter how unsavory the comment was, it was made during the heat of the political moment. Obviously to cheer his people up, which at the end of the day anyway incited his people in their abuse.
I don't think you should have a problem condemning the nature of that comment and to say that, for example, he should have used different words.
am saying that,
but to say that it wasn't a call for violence, right?
I am more interested in the concern that he raised.
Interesting.
The concern about the perception of political witch hunting against ordinary citizens who are perceived to be MPP. I feel it should be addressed. As to the style and the language, I mean, sometimes you can go overboard, but most important is how they address
Honorable,
the underlying
when
comments.
President Mahama met journalists in September 2025, he made a point that government has the IP address of everybody in this country and that they were tracking people who were making comments, that were spreading hate, misinformation, and disinformation. In the aftermath of that, and even prior to that comment, we've seen quite a number of opposition supporters and also some journalists who've been picked up for various reasons, but largely on issues around, misinformation and causing fear and panic. Should we be worried on this trajectory that has been set? And Kwesi listed quite a number of them, right? If somebody posts a caricature photo of the president saying Doomsor is back, should it warrant the full force of the BNI or some other state agency, going down on a person in such a manner?
Yeah, so let me say that any statement threatening to make any country ungovernable is an issue of security threat and will be dealt with. It's such irresponsible and very dangerous. We have moved from the dark days where when you get angry, you use gun, you go and inflict wounds like we are seeing in South Africa now and other places. We have moved from that dark days and now we are in this level of democracy when you feel strongly about something, you know the procedures to take. We are trying to curb the issue of misinformation and disinformation largely. And our propensity to believe anything that is put in the media is making it such that if we don't check some of these things, people will begin to misinform and people will align. As a youth, I'm not sure they are a military force. They don't have access to guns, and so why are you saying that? Because he's the youth leader and in the moment he could have used some other language and you fell short of condemning it. In the past, we saw some other leaders who also used that kind of bravado. But in the aftermath of wanting to become president, they changed their style and then they became gentlemen. They started wearing suits, and then they sat straight in their chairs and were addressing media and were looking nice. And anytime you want to bring their past, they say, "Oh no, now
you've changed.
I am a gentleman." Those people who could lash at the clergy from 0 to 100 now go to church, go and kneel down to be prayed for.
Do they have names?
Oh, I am only speaking.
No, if they have names, you can't. So that we get the context of what. Go on.
No, but Kwesi is here, so. No.
Kennedy never.
But I didn't mention Kennedy.
I know that's when he wants to bring.
Then they began to go to church.
But you keep bringing Kennedy. That's my worry. As if Kennedy is the one you are going to protest.
They go to kneel down to be prayed for by the same pastors they insulted in the past. They attack everybody and anybody. And I'm sure some of the youth are learning some of those traits. But you see, when we come here and do these things, we leave, we shake hands, we go to sit and do things. Let us show that to the public. Let us not make it look as if when you come and then you speak loudest, you insult each other, you threaten, you do all those things. That is when you become the man. Let us show to the people that we are same people. When you go to Parliament, together with my colleagues from the other side, we sit, we eat, we chat, we do things together. When I say some of these things that I go be, I say, hey, be careful about them, we'll let them not kill you. No, we have colleagues, we have friends. You see, so when we come to say, let's show that we are colleagues. And some media houses, when these things come, they propagate it, they make it loud, and everybody hears about it. So people begin to get popularity out of the stupid things they say. Using the words, nonsense. We will militarize ourselves. We will take arms. Who does that now in Ghana? And let us warn the youth that the security services are all over. You wouldn't know, you wouldn't see them. There are people on platforms. The voice recordings you do, people listen to them. You don't know who is listening. The next time they will pick you up. The next time, technology has advanced so much so that whatever you do, in every corner, people are listening, people are watching. If they want to pick you, they will pick you. So let us be careful the things we write. Who says going to social media and write all those things makes you...
but if you post a picture of the president to say Doomsaw is back, when so he did at the time... Oh, but no, in my house, I was experiencing it. I mean, it's been improved now.
So what is Doomsaw?
No, but it's been improved. But at the time he posted it, and even government admitted, because the minister came out to say that.
About the times of
it's fine.
We forgot about those times of
you have the final word on this, right? Whose responsibility is it to lower the temperature, the political temperature?
Media should play a role.
Then you tie in what you wanted to also say.
You see, media, let's not give leverage. There are some shows when they come, everybody will shout big, and that is what they feel people are, and they always promote it. So the quiet ones, the intellectuals, the people who have knowledge about the subject, they won't bring them. They always bring
politicians
party boys to come and rant. We should tone down on some of those things so that people know that we want to listen to sense, want to listen to content, want to listen to people who understand the subject that is being discussed, so that it doesn't become a political thing. And then make noise over, and then they clap for you, they wake up and they go and do their thing. Let us lower the temperature. It doesn't help anybody. That is not what is going to make them lose. Already 2028, they have lost it already.
It's okay. Koshi, 30 seconds.
Yeah, I think that the responsibility to lower the temperature rests. Let's begin with the president himself. You see, we are a nation being governed by a sitting president. Now, the mood of the country reflects how the president governs, and let's not take that away. You see, so if state institutions are acting in ways that may not be proper, it is for the president to put his foot down. And say, hey, look, the way you arrest may not be proper. I mean, sometimes we arrest people in, like you rightly said, in a Rambo style that doesn't speak of a democratic state. Where you behave as though the person is an armed robber holding guns in his house, and then you invade with... I mean, when we saw this very early when this government took over, how people's houses were being broken down. Exactly. I mean, it's clearly irresponsible. So I think that toning down the temperature begins with the president. When you have a Greater Accra regional minister go and make certain comments, and she's not held accountable. I mean, you don't run the country well. So I think that toning down temperature requires that the president himself begins to act. And leadership at every level, whether you are in opposition or in government, must also learn to speak properly. I think that you see, everybody must speak in a manner that allows the younger people to look at it and say, this is how we must conduct ourselves. If we don't do that, it doesn't help us.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your insights on this topic. Now we'll move on because embattled MP faces Dutch court tomorrow, and I'm referring to the Member of Parliament for Asante Achim North, Ohene Kwame Frimpong, who is expected to appear before a court in the Netherlands tomorrow. This follows his arrest from an airport in Amsterdam on Monday, May 10, 2026, while transiting to the United Kingdom on a KLM flight from Accra. According to City FM, his legal team has indicated that the MP will challenge the legality of his arrest and the subsequent detention when he appears in court. Mr. Frimpong was detained following an arrest warrant issued by United States on April 26, 2026, and we are being told that he's being arrested for issues around money laundering and romance scam fraud. Of course, I'll start off with you, Honorable Lukitoko. You are in Parliament, and I'm sure it hits home. And he did business with the majority side, so I can say he's one of you. Oh, he's one of you. I mean, it's public. He's
okay for him. He's a colleague. He's a first timer like me. I happen to be serving on the same committee with him, and so we are quite close. I was surprised to hear the news. When it came up first, it was a rumor, and it was dismissed later. The information came from Parliament that he was arrested and he's being charged for the charges. Originally, the charges were not out, but now we know they are out. So currently, yes, he's going to face the Dutch court on the extradition matter, whether he should be extradited to the US to face the charges or brought back to Ghana, whatever the circumstances will be. I must say that this is a matter of the law, and we as public officials are also to respect the law and to live under it. It's not out of place if anything untoward is found about him. He would have to go through the legal processes, especially when it is not in Ghana. Of course, we have some immunities, traveling on a diplomatic passport and all those other things. I'm sure those are the things that the court. As
a member of Parliament, are you concerned over the rising cases of, romance, scam, money laundering, charges? Because very recently, twins, I think their name is Arrangement and Lancaster, were arrested over similar issues. Of course, we also know the Abutrika case, which is ongoing. He's been granted bail. And quite a number of others as well. Because there are concerns that this affects the public, the global reputation of this country, right? And some of the unnecessary scrutiny we have to endure in applying for visas as a result of some of these things. So are you worried as a member of Parliament?
Yeah, I am. I am worried. Anything that tarnishes the image of Ghanaian or any individual as a Ghanaian should be worrying to us lawmakers, because we make laws to protect our people and other people who do business with us. And the issue of romance scam, it's an emotional thing. And sometimes I wouldn't know to what extent people go by luring people.
In South Town, do you have some of the boys doing that today?
I won't say no.
So can you say yes?
No, I don't have evidence of any of them.
But it's possible.
Yeah, anything is possible. In Ghana, I don't have evidence to that. The lawyer is here, so the issue of will and may will come in again. So I don't have evidence of that to say that there are boys.
But it's concerning, and we should pay attention to it.
Yeah, it is very concerning, and I think that, you see, as young men, let us take our own life into our hands. Let's not depend on anybody within or outside. That should make life better for us. Because it's worrying, but it's my colleague, so it's unfortunately I will
wait for the case tomorrow,
and then whatever happens subsequently.
Are you preparing to go back to contest?
What kind of question is that? What kind of leading question is that?
But you
always want to put me in trouble.
Why today you are so uncomfortable?
Did you not contest the primaries?
Well, let me answer you in this way.
You
see,
contested?
Yeah,
so you go again. So you wish there's a by-election?
That is not fair.
He's not wished. I'm asking that if there's a chance.
He wants to create problem. So that
if you answer my question, we wouldn't have been here.
But how different is the two?
No,
they are different.
Are you worried? I mean, generally.
First of all, let me take it from this angle. You see, I am aware of the hallowed injunction, the presumption of innocence places on any accused person. So right now, we will presume that I'm not even sure they are charges per se. These are all speculations that we are hearing in the media. So as that, I will presume that he's innocent and he's a brother. So if you don't want him, even though he transacted business with you, they want him. Even if the MPP as a party say they don't want him, he's my MP. He's from my constituency, and there is no way I can throw him under the bus.
I'm not saying we don't want him.
No, he's
an independent candidate who is caucusing with us.
So he's part of the majority.
That's what you suggested.
I say he's an independent candidate who is caucusing with us.
You look at the description. Look at the description you give.
We love everybody.
He's from my constituency. He's from my hometown.
He's your MP.
He's my MP. So I mean, blood is always thicker than water. So there is no way I can throw him under the backs.
But I'm not throwing him under the backs.
You attempted that.
Look at what we have done.
Has the MPP heard from him? Have you reached out to his lawyers? Have you heard anything about this case?
I don't have that information. And it's even on the basis, that is why I'm going to plead to recuse myself from further comments, because the information available on a subject matter is very scanty. So it's safer for me to not even make further commentary on that. And me too, my parents advise me, they'll call me and say, this matter, don't talk, be careful about it.
If there should be a by-election, will you contest?
I think the question is prejudicial. It's prejudicial for me.
If there should be, so I mean, we are hoping that he's set free and everything, but of course, it's the law. Anything can happen. So
what I'm hoping, I mean, clearly you won't get me for this. I've been doing this for a very long time. What kind of leading question is this? Stop that.
Yeah, shocking you.
Let me respond. That's why you see this is not a cross-examination. I'm not in court too. Where the response
yes, I'll contest. No, I will not contest.
As of now, I am praying for him. Yesterday, let me tell you something that I did interesting. You know, I don't know his parents. Of course, we see them on social media. But when the incident happened, after calling some of the members of parliament to get clarity into the matter, I called his workers to at least sympathize with them. And subsequently, even yesterday, if you check my phone records, I tested it with the hope that maybe some way, somehow, he may have access to his phone. Because usually, sometimes, in such circumstances, there are days that you have access to your phone to even wish him well.
But he clearly hasn't responded.
No, he even tagged once. So as of now, the only thing we are all doing for him, including every good, likely-minded persons or good constituents, is to pray and hope that he gets justice. And at the end of the day, we can be only hopeful that he comes back to continue his duty. I think all consequential decisions.
By the case is prolonged and the seat is declared vacant, you contest.
No, all consequential decisions, as of now, for me, I feel is prejudicial.
Okay.
It's only when we get
Fair enough. Because I asked Honorable the same question, right? Should we be worried about the rise in some of these? Of course, he hasn't been found to be guilty or hasn't been convicted, but clearly we are seeing the rise in some of these cases. And is there a concern for you?
Duncan, let me just make a little statement, not on the question you have asked before, because I know our time is very limited.
No problem.
You see, I made a statement some time ago that Ghana needs to be engineered. And by that, we need to build a country where everything is connected. Flooding cannot be addressed as a seasonal matter. Flooding must be a way that we engineer the whole country such that things work out properly. Right from spatial planning and infrastructure development. So I see GMET here today saying that, look, the southern part of Ghana faces a flooding threat. Now, it should not be a seasonal matter. It is the way the municipal assemblies and districts conduct themselves in terms of spatial planning end developments that ensures that the city is properly engineered. And I think that we need to give a lot of attention to that matter, where we appoint competent people at the district, municipal, and
I see you're very passionate about this.
It's something that is fundamental because it's the way this country is running is not sustainable. It's clearly not sustainable. Infrastructure development, energy services, water, it's not going to work. It's not
next
going
time
to work.
I'll give you enough time to just delve into this.
On the matter of the MP, you see, some time ago again, we said that the political parties are not doing justice to this country. If anybody wants to contest for a seat today, the first question anybody will ask is, do you have money? That's the first question anybody will ask you.
Not what are your values.
Not what are your values.
What do you stand for?
What do you stand for?
Priorities.
No, it's about, do you have money? So I think that the political parties have done a disservice and continue to do a disservice to this country because they do not focus and ask those fundamental questions of their candidates. And that is why we continue to have our MPs or politicians getting involved in matters that are not pleasing. So the political parties, if they are truly interested in making sure that this country works, need to put in place mechanisms beyond the basic requirements of the Constitution that qualify someone to be an MP, and say, what work does the person do? What are the sources of his income? What are his values? So at the screening level where political parties screen people to determine whether they can stand on the party's ticket, these are questions that they need to be asked. And when it comes to independent candidates as well, the EC must possibly look at it and say, what are the things that should qualify the person beyond the Constitution? Some kind of things to be put in place so that we can increase the quality
always
of
a
people we
pleasure
get
having
into
you.
office.
Thank you so much, Kwesi Kwarteng. Thank you so much for passing by. Honorable, always a pleasure. Our regards to the people of Southtown. Amazing.
He stop the mischief.
He'll stop. He's not a mischievous man. He's an honorable. All right, that's all time allowed. But some of the questions are coming in. This one says, it's sad if someone uses conditional sentences, then underline his or her concerns rather than condemning him. Good morning. Please, with all respect, Kwesi Kwarteng should read a statement of the organizer again and come back and say something peacefully to we the youth in the country. What is not good yesterday is not good. Will not be good for tomorrow. Koshi's last point is fundamental. We need to lower the political temperature in the country. All have a role to play, including the clergy, who are sometimes seen to be very partisan. And this from Angie Mrekua. You say, thank you for sending in a message. And I'll just quickly add that, see guys, on the point Koshi ended, right, the country needs to be engineered properly. We need things to get running effectively. And from the first two conversations we had, around Salam and even concerns around Abronye, we have a country to build, and we should be all minded about the values that brings us together as a people, not one that sets us apart. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Jude Duncan. I sat in for a regular host, Nana Tufo Boateng. The Breakfast Daily Show continues with Chris Carter and myself. Don't go away.
Every day, we make choices. Some big, some small.
How would you be doing today? I want this or...
Every day, we make choices. And sometimes, choices that shape our hearts.
Hi.
Whether it's a long-term or short-term decision. The Lydia Ranger gives you the power to truly decide. With Lydia, you truly decide.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabadim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
From 11 June to 19 July, everything can wait. The FIFA World Cup 2026. Catch all 104 matches from as little as 98 Ghana cedis live on SuperSport, only on GoTV.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal toothpaste. Kel Charcoal toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo kendini, who be here, Semecha Sapapadia to Amame Manfo, Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is so buying, a man is swing, Nesansu Mama Hotoso, a will beg you.
Kel Charcoal toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
From 11 June to 19 July, everything can wait. The FIFA World Cup 2026. Catch all 104 matches from as little as 58 Ghana cedis live on SuperSport, only on DSTV.
Are you ready to explore Ghana? A land of rich heritage. A land alive with culture. A land of unforgettable adventures. From breathtaking landscapes to wildlife, festivals and nightlife that never sleeps. But planning the perfect trip can feel overwhelming. Now, everything you need is in one place. With Ghana Tourism Marketplace, you can book hotels, discover tours, rent cars, connect with expert guides, and explore destinations across the country. You can also get tickets for amazing experiences like Movie in the Park at Platinum Bay Hotel, Uncle Ebo White Theatre shows, Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park visits, and more. So go ahead, plan your journey and experience Ghana your way. Ghana Tourism Marketplace is brought to you by Ghana Tourism Development Company, your official gateway to discovering Ghana.
She's a girl who's soft at heart. She's a work of art. She's a girl who smiles a lot. She will run the race and she won't just stop. No. She's the one who fights for love. She got thick blood running through her lungs. Yeah. She's the one who sees the good in people. Some don't see the good in her. Sometimes I lie helpless if I tell you I'm good or not. Some days I say to myself, oh, if it's not my fate, then I'll stand down. Don't wanna break, I'm too fragile. I can't deny how the little things get in my head, and I hide in the corner and I cry to myself. Not my fight, oh, I'll stand down. Don't wanna break, I'm too fragile. I can't deny how the little things get in my head, and I hide in the a corner and I cry to myself. She gets tired every day from thinking hard. Oh, she holds everything she feels inside. Good bad habits that she wants to throw away. In her mind, yeah, she got some things to say. She likes big book with pictures. Oh, she likes staring deep into the skies. Oh, she knows she ain't perfect. She got scars in her soul, so she tries to hide it. In my head I lie helpless. I can't tell, think I'm selfless. Don't wanna break down, don't wanna crumble. So I say, if it's not my fate, then I'll stand down. Don't wanna break, I'm too fragile. I can't deny how the little things get in my head. And I hide in a corner and I cry to myself. Not my fight, oh I'll stand down. Don't wanna break, I'm too fragile. I can't deny how the little things get in my head. And I hide in a corner and I cry to myself. 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 And I'm a fight or I'll stand down. Don't wanna break, I'm too fragile. I can't deny how the little things get in my head. And I hide in a corner and I cry to my. If it's not my fight, then I'll stand down. Don't wanna break, I'm too fragile. I can't deny how the little things get in my head. And I hide in a corner and I cry to myself. Not my fight, I'll stand down. Don't wanna break, I'm too fragile. I can't deny how the little things get in my head. And I hide in a corner and I cry to myself. I cry to myself. I cry to myself. Really I cry. Oh, I cry to myself. No, my fight, oh, I'll stand down. Don't wanna break, I'm too fragile. Can't deny how the little things get in my head. And I hide in a corner and I cry to myself. Oh, I cry to myself. That was Fragile. I'm Kiki Celine once again, and this is Old Love. You ain't never paid attention to the things I like. You ain't never paid attention to the things that make me smile. Every time you did the wrong things, I thought I was to blame. Oh, you kept quiet while I beat myself ashamed. But I need some flowers, a whole dress-up game for dates. What about that old love? But I need some flowers, a kiss on my forehead, baby, baby. What about that old love? You think you know what love is? You think you know what trust is? Oh, you don't know a thing about him, no. At first I wasn't sure what I wanted. Oh, you showed me what I needed. If you ain't about that, check yourself out, please. I need some 80s love. Oh, no, no. Flowers, a whole dress-up game for dates. What about that old love? But I need some flowers and a kiss on my forehead, baby, baby. What about that old love? I need some flowers, a whole dress-up game for dates. What about that old love? But I need some, I need some, I need some. What about that old love? I need some flowers, a whole dress-up game for dates. What about that old love? But I need some, baby, baby, no. What about that old love? Think about it. 'Cause I need some, I need some, I need some. What about that old love? But I need some flowers, a whole dress-up game for dates. What about that old love? But I need some flowers, a whole dress-up game for dates. What about that old love? But I need some, I need some, I need some. What about that old love? But I need some flowers, a whole dress-up game for dates. What about that old love? But I need some flowers, a whole dress-up game for dates. What about that old love? But I need some flowers, a whole dress-up game for dates. What about that old love? But I need some flowers, a whole dress-up game for dates. What about that old love? But I need some flowers, a whole dress-up game for dates. What about that old love? But I need some flowers, a whole dress-up game for dates. What about that old love? But I need some flowers, a whole dress-up game for dates. What about that old love? But I need some flowers, a whole dress-up game for dates. What about that old love? But I need some flowers, a whole dress-up game for da flowers. Oh, dress up game for days. What about that? I need some flowers, a kiss on my forehead, baby, baby. What about that love? Ooh, what about it? What about me? What about you? What about me?
All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. That was Celine with a beautiful voice serenading us this morning. But once more, you are welcome to Breakfast Daily. So whether you're joining us from the comforts of your home, on your way to work, or you brazing through the drizzles of the rain, we are here to keep you warm right here on Breakfast Daily. So we are happy to be here with you, and thank you for joining us. My name is Chris Carter, and of course, Jude is here with me just because Philip is on site.
It's always a pleasure. You know, I mean, I'm excited to be here. I love being on this platform, actually.
Why?
Because, you know, you always get to meet like very nice people in terms of, you know, their feedback we get when we do the show. So I'll be looking forward to it a lot on the show. So if you're watching right now, please do also send us a message on all of the things I'll be discussing on the show today. Quite a rich array as far as, you know, making your Wednesday morning more relaxed, more enjoyable, and more peaceful.
Yeah, so let's get straight into the reminders of the day. But before we start the reminders of the day, just feel free to send us any messages when it comes to any topics that interest you. Send your messages via the WhatsApp number, or you can actually leave your messages if you're watching us on YouTube Live, the comment section, and we will get to read it on the show. So here we go. We're going to be starting with the first one, the City Business Festival. The City Business Festival is back, and if you know all about it, if you don't know all about it, it's actually an annual month-long business and economic event right here, held on City 97.3 FM and Channel 1 TV, and it features extensive on-air programs that will be immersing you into the business world, outdoor forums, and of course at the end of it, I think there's an executive boot camp somewhere.
All of it and more, you know, and I'm being told also that there's the auto show, the auto expo.
Oh, there's an auto expo.
Absolutely, you know, happening, and all the details will be coming up, you know, very shortly. And I'm excited about this because it's an opportunity for the business community to come together again and have these very important conversations about scaling up and, of course, getting answers to all of the very pertinent issues they face. So I'm looking forward to the on-air series especially, and of course, and the main forum to
so it starts from the 1st of June to the 30th of June. You definitely do not want to miss it. You all need to just stick with us right here on Channel 1 TV and City 97.3 FM. But I want to say a very big thank you to our sponsors. Absa Bank, MTN, Petra Trust, and Zonda. Absa Bank, MTN, Petra, and Zonda. But if you want more information and more details on how to be part of it, all you need to do is call the number on the screen. That's 0205 973 973. 0205 973 973. And now our next reminder is the Blanksons. The Blanksons is going to be showing tomorrow actually. Tomorrow at 7:30. I said today because I'm excited. I'm excited because I want to watch the new episode. So I think episode 8 is what is going to be showing tomorrow at 7:30. And the synopsis is actually very interesting. So basically, Mrs. Blankson sees this new girl that her son's bringing into the house, and she's a charcoal seller, and she's not really excited about the whole thing, just because like this girl does not fall into their class. So she's like, no, this does not fit into our class. So my son, you better beware, So she was giving the girl attitude and all that. But at the end of the day, the girl now came up with, hey, I got a scholarship, full pay scholarship to, one of these unis out there, and the mom is like, oh my God, she started becoming friendly all of a sudden. So,
But it's a very common recurring theme in a lot of households.
Yes.
You take someone to the house, they ask you, hey, Ofri, what's
Exactly.
her education
Background.
I think more
Who
often
is
than
she?
not, the parents mean well.
Yes.
But some of the time, they are just...
They probably mean well, but it doesn't come out right.
Mm.
Yeah, and sometimes you can just be overly mean about the whole thing, because sometimes the parents sometimes forget that that's where they also came from.
In fact, some of them even go borderline, tribal, and say that, Charlie, you can bring this tribe, you can bring that tribe, And
so yeah,
anyway,
that's good. So that's what's going to be happening in episode 8. You definitely don't want to miss it. And like we always tell you that this is about a Ghanaian family setting. So the things that happen in Ghanaian families, it might happen in your family, it might happen in the next person's family, your neighbor's family. But most of these things that we show you on the Blank Scenes are, real life situations with a twist of comedy, inspiration, and happiness. So bring the family together and sit around as you enjoy Blank Scenes every 7:30. On Thursdays, and we have repeats every Friday 11:30 a.m., Saturdays 7 p.m., Sundays 4:30 p.m., Tuesdays 3 p.m., and Wednesday 5:30 p.m. We want to say a very big thank you to our sponsors, Naxco Electronics, Lizzie Shito, Out Mosquito Coil, and Everpack. Thank you for holding us down. And of course, football is World Cup is drawing nearer. It's closer and closer.
Yeah.
So that's why we have the World Cup Central. That shows every Friday at 3 p.m. where we take you on the journey of the World Cup, talking to different people who have experience in football. Some have actually played in the World Cup before, and some, just dreamt about it, and some just come and tell us what they think with all the analytics, and everything that they actually know when it comes to football. They come to share it and bear all right there at World Cup Central that happens every
the interesting
Friday
thing
at
is
3
that
p.m.
I'm
with
also on
Gabby
the show,
Ofen.
so
Yes, tell us about it.
It's fun. See, the very first few editions of the show generated arguably the biggest sports or football debate in the country for like 2 weeks. So it was a show with Godfred Akoto-Boafo, who is on the City Breakfast show.
And he's a football guy.
Yeah, sports guy through and through. He says he's a veteran sport. He's a retired football journalist, right? Sports journalist. And I don't think he's retired because, he still has so much insights and he shares it every time. And there was also Michael Otieji, this episode I'm referring to.
Right.
And they had Yusuf Chipsa, who is a former national team footballer. And the debate on the show at the time was whether local players should be called to the Black Stars for the World Cup.
Yeah.
Right? The local league. What team do you support in the local league? Hey.
Wait.
Hey.
Accra.
Hey. The fact that you have to
think out. Accra has Suffolk.
The fact that you have to think about the teams, Charlie.
Phobia.
So, do you know who won the league, by the way?
Wait, they just mentioned them. Why? I forgot.
There's a problem. Clearly. So the point is that people feel like the league is not quality and that local players shouldn't be called. And it generated like significant, it was so big. And to think that a show that's quite new has got everybody talking, right? It was quite interesting for me to see. So the point is that it's exciting, it's always fun, packed, and the most recent edition of the show, for example, we had officials from the US Embassy come in studio, talk about the visa requirement process and all that you need to know.
All you need to know.
It was just absolutely
ready for the
very,
World
very
Cup.
insightful, right?
Right.
It's the best one-stop shop for everything World Cup, everything football, as far as the biggest football competition in the world that's ever been and possibly will ever be is concerned, the FIFA Club World Cup.
All right.
Cup World Cup.
Okay.
What am I saying?
Thank you. So make it every Friday at 3 p.m. with Gabby Ofe and enjoy the World Cup Central. And now it's time for us to remind you that if you want any of the informations and news that we put out there, or we put out here on TV, just remember that you can actually download channel1newsonline.com. It's a very easy, user-friendly interface. So that's what you have to do on Play Store. As you can see on the screen, very easy. Just type it out, and then you see it, and then you will install. Voila, you can get all the news item, all the articles out there, and some videos that you see here on TV right there. It's more like the website, but very easy to access, instead of having to type www and all that. But you just have this right on your palm, and you can have access to everything that we put out there, from general news to lifestyle to food, travel, entertainment, everything. It's right there. It's not just news, but there's a lot of infotainment right there too. So do well to download the Channel 1 News app. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to get into the trends. If you're wondering what the trend is all about, is everything that keeps you buzzing on social media. Yes, there are so many topics that come up every day. Everybody's trying to contribute to it. And of course, sometimes you see long threads when it comes to some of these contributions and gossips right on every topic. So we're going to be getting all this news from social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok, etc. And yeah, so the first one is actually very Ghanaian centered, and I think it's a good news to all students. So the Ghana Rent Control has ordered nationwide hostel fee price hike halt. So there's a halt to all the hostel fee prices. And the Ghana's Rent Control Department ordered private student hostel operators to suspend all planned fee increases for the 2026-2027 academic year, responding to complaints about soaring prices amid economic hardship. The acting rent commissioner, Frederick Opoku, highlighted the burden on families and warned that unregulated hikes could limit access to higher education. The department plans a stakeholder meetings with operators, students, and university authorities to discuss sustainable pricing and compliance following recent inspections that flagged exploitative fees up to 10,000 Ghana cedis per year for shared room. And as you can see on the screen, that is As you can see on the screen, that is the message from the Ghana Rent Control Department. So we actually have comments on this. Let's see what the people are saying. People will take theirs to do hotel.
That's from Combination.
Yeah, I think.
But
But it's true, boy. Well, if you want to do hotel, just do a hotel at once. So why burden the students?
That's true.
Why burden the students? I think sometimes the hostel operators forget that these are students.
Yeah. And they try to milk them as much as possible.
Exactly. They're already going through the pressure of paying school fees, having to buy their books, trying to feed, and all that. Sometimes this pressure even dumped on the parents.
You know the most difficult thing about this whole hostel conversation, and I can speak to it particularly with the government or the public universities, is that when it happens, more often than not, you get like the very well-to-do people and families going very early, sometimes go behind the system, secure accommodation on campus for their wards, right? And now those who are not really from well-to-do homes, who don't have protocol, have to now rely on the private ones, and the cost is just skyrocketing like that. So it's a very difficult conversation. And I recall vividly when I was walking in to go register, right? And I went to the school alone when I got admission, going to register for my hostel and for my courses and everything. And I was doing it alone. I said, what? How old? I was a teenager at the time, 18, 19, and I was in the school alone, even possibly younger. And I was going through the process in the queue to register for my hostel. And where we were doing the registration, right, after every minute, some Land Cruiser would just come and park, or some really big car. There's some big man. In fact, I recall a minister at the time coming down from his car, and like it's like a Ghanaian courtesy thing. Oh, Minister Abba. So all of us who were in the queue genuinely, who were pushed aside, then they do it quickly for this minister, then somebody else come, so it's like the norm, right? I hope the situation has improved, but generally, these are some of the things people are facing. So I think that a hostel culture as it pertains now is a criminal enterprise.
Right.
In a very, it is just purely profiteering. But of course, they give reasons why it is so. They say the building is expensive, the maintenance is expensive, blah, 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 blah. So I think that government should find a way to look into some of these things because it's clearly unsustainable, especially for students.
I feel like it's not just about the building being expensive. It's just what's happening in the housing.
The real estate.
The real estate industry. Do you understand? It's just because people are actually, putting these exorbitant prices up that it has trickled down to hostels. You understand? So basically, houses that you and I have to rent are so expensive that people also doing hostels feel like, okay, if we are renting at this price, why not also raise at this price? So forgetting that people are different. People earn differently, and some people are just students. So you cannot. I'm not saying it's fair for the one that they charge us. No, it's not. It's not even fair. But for students, I think they need to have been a bit, empathetic and be reasonable. Like you say, it's exploitative. But let's continue with some of the comments that we have. How can accommodation be more expensive than academic fees? What at all is going on in this country? We shall all do online programs very soon if this nonsense does not stop.
Strong words.
Finally, rent control, they tackle high hostel fees. Nice.
You say.
Why only hostels? My landlord, they increase mine next year. I need help too. Action. Clap, 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 clap with a T and salute.
You get a sense that people actually support this, right? Like there is general public acclaim for the rent commissioner and the point is that this is the first time we are seeing, or maybe in a long time, we are seeing the rent commission come out very boldly and forcefully to push some of these things. And it makes me wonder, for all of these years, where have they been? Those who were in charge, where were they? What were they doing? What were their KPIs? Or they were just drawing salaries and that was it? So I have a lot of admiration and respect for the current rent commissioner and the work that they are doing to sanitize the space.
Yeah. All right, so the next one is Ghana Standards Authority raid at Sherman China Mall, sees substandard bulbs and mattresses. This one, we actually saw the video yesterday trending online on different platforms, from visual platforms like Instagram to X to Facebook and all that. So the GSA raided the China Mall warehouse in the Sherman, closing sections with substandard electrical appliances like bulbs and mattresses that tested at, the bulbs actually tested at 51 lumens instead of the required 360 minimum. Regional manager Clement Kubati called all 15 sampled bulbs fake and warned on fire hazard, emphasizing Ghana won't be a dumping ground for inferior goods. This followed Monday's shutdown of the Chinese-owned mattress factory in Dawinya and other recent arrests, with Ghanaians praising the crackdown while calling for checks in local markets. And officials plan more raids to safeguard consumers and support fair trade. Talking about the mattresses, the Kumawood actor, Lil Wayne, he actually tested his mattress too online. He cut it open and it was plastic.
Plastic?
Yeah, it was very inferior thing. It was not like, what he expected. And he was screaming all over.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible. I saw them clamp down on inferior light bulbs that didn't have like the proper standardization. Line sensors, right? So
the bulbs actually are supposed to test 360 minimum, but these ones were testing 51 lumens minimum.
I think that's it. We need to support the Standards Authority because it is in the public interest that some of these things are maintained. And for example, these light bulbs and things that are, they can, if it's indeed found out not to be of a certain quality, it can cause major problems, right? Because,
fire hazards,
Exactly. And beyond just seizing these products from some of these big shopping malls, I think they should call management and say, why are you putting these products on your shelves when they don't have the right permission and approval from the standards authority. And they shouldn't just go and seize the product, but call the management of China Mall, and tell them that, see, you can't continue like this. And if they don't do that, it'll be very disappointing. So I'm expecting that in the coming days, they'll just line up all of these people found to have broken the law in the manner they have and say that, Charlie, why?
And it's not only
and prosecute if they are found to have broken the law.
It's not even only a Sherman that this mall exists. The mall exists across different places in the city now. So I think they need to
all of it. In fact, they have a very big one at Spintex.
Yes, the new one.
Very big facility.
It's actually bigger than the one opposite the Action Shop. It's actually bigger than the other two at the end at the Coca-Cola.
Yes, so on the Spintex stretch alone, they have like three.
Yeah. They have three.
So you can imagine, and the point is this for light bulbs and mattresses, right? I don't know if they're the ones found to also, sell inferior mattresses, but the light bulb was for sure at China Mall.
Yeah.
So I think that they need to rein the manufacturers in, the importers, and of course the wholesalers, those who are selling it on their shelves.
Yeah.
It's non-negotiable at this point.
Right. So we have comments on this. Let's check out the comments and see what people are talking about. How did they get into the country in the first place? That's a good question.
Yeah.
The other China Mall shops will just hide the ones they have. Always wanting to make a statement when this could have been prevented without reaching the media. No, I think it's important it actually reaches the media.
It's very important.
It's actually very important to reach the media so people will know what they are buying. And these raids, I don't understand. These products didn't just jump into the shops. They passed through Ghanaian hands to make sure these inferior goods don't enter the market. But they are there. What happened to those who are supposed to check? Exactly. They could have been stopped at the port. They should check the pots and pans there too. Those are hazardous. You use it few days and it starts corroding. And I'm sure most of our food vendors are using it without care.
Serious.
Yes, actually for pots that people really do not realize that some of these pots are very dangerous and affects us in different ways, especially the very cute ones that people like to use for content. The one with the, I forgot what they call them, the one with the black, inside them. So basically when it starts coming off, right, doctors have said that when it starts corroding or when the black starts coming off from the pot, you do not use it. You have to throw it away. But people tend to keep on using it and using it and using it till it turns silver. Yeah. So one thing we need to understand is this affects us in different ways. I think it affects women's hormones. It causes different conditions and even cancers. Yeah, so I think it's very important things like this are being checked out because the amount of people that are getting sick these days is just too much. So, yeah.
Will you say the public also has a role to play in reporting some of these things, right?
I think the public does not even realize that some of these things are not good for them. The bulb might look
having people
cute.
complain now that this is what is happening. This is just, it's too wrong. On many fronts, it's too wrong. And I hope that we take the necessary steps to rectify this.
Well, it's up to them. Yeah. So now, exciting one yesterday. I just picked up my phone yesterday and checking my status, and all my status, people were all talking about gunners. Like I go on my social media page on Instagram, almost all the men I know, gunners.
All the men you know.
Oh my God. And I'm like, what's happening? Why is everybody gunning? And I had to go and check what happened. So Arsenal secured the Premier League crown without playing, and that's the whole. That's
North London forever, whatever the weather. These streets are our own, and our hearts will never. My blood will forever. Oh, Charlie, Arsenal.
Are you a Gunner?
by association. No, by association. Yeah.
All right, so they actually
my
secured...
CEO is a Ghana, and by extension,
yeah.
So I have to align.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks to Manchester City's 1-1 draw with Bournemouth that left them 5 points behind with 1 match left. But obviously, we know what happened. So Mikel Arteta's side finished on 82 points from 37 games with a league best defense, conceding just 26 goals, and David Raya earning his 3rd straight Golden Globe. This is Arsenal's
26 is not just. But
this is Arsenal's first Premier League title. Okay, why everybody's
in
making
22 years.
Yes, that's why everybody's making a buzz about this. In 22 years.
It's a long time.
Yes.
To think that some of the players in their club weren't even born.
Exactly.
Right. So, for example, Lewis Kelly. You have, Max Doman, who's just about 19. I'm not even sure his parents had met. So, I mean, the point is that this is truly, truly a classic in many ways.
Yeah, Victor Gyökeres actually led scoring with 14 goals, while homegrown stars like Bukayo Saka, Declan Rice, and William Saliba powered the run.
See, Arteta has done an incredible job, and it's not even just over because they have the Champions League as well. And if they win that, I think he's arguably, possibly one of the greatest managers, if not the greatest, if he's able to do the Champions League double. Only Manchester United and City have done that in recent time, and for me, it's incredible. And I like or absolutely love the class touch to this. So you go on online and the fans are celebrating, and like people are sharing pictures. So there was this one fan who shared a picture of his grandmother and him 22 years ago when they won, and now
I saw one like that too.
Like, it's the stories that are coming out, and the fact that fans who've passed and supported a struggle during the 22 period of drought as far as the Premier League is concerned. So it's an incredible story in every sense, right? And Arteta deserves lots of credit. So there's a video of the team, celebrating in the dressing room when the City and Bournemouth game was ongoing. So City drew with Bournemouth, which means that they dropped 2 more points in the race.
So basically, if they could have won, that means they would have probably played Arsenal.
So if they won the game against Bournemouth, it would have gone to the final day, which is this coming week, between them and Arsenal. So the draw means that they dropped 2 points, and now Arsenal would be leading them by 4 points with a game to spare.
So there was no point.
Even if they lose the Crystal Palace game, they still win the league by a point. So congratulations to Arsenal. Do you know some Arsenal fans?
A lot. A lot that even some I didn't realize they were Arsenal fans. They just wanted.
All of them who were hiding are all coming out.
They just wanted Arsenal to win. Then they all brought out their jerseys. I'm like, hey, so you two have jersey, But it was fun to see. It was exciting to see, and congratulations to all Arsenal fans. I mean, it's not.
Who do you think that? I'm not sure you would have a fair idea, but I mean, based on the public sentiment you've got, who do you think the best Arsenal player this season has been? I think our viewers should help us, right? So if you're watching and you love the Arsenal, and you're excited for... No, like I told you.
Hey, my
CEO is an Arsenal fan. When he's happy, everybody's happy. And my in-law too. When he's happy, I'm okay. So I have to align. So guys, tell me what you really make of this, right? Because it's important, and I want to know who you think the best Arsenal player this season has been. I think it's a 3-horse race, possibly between Raya, Gabriel, and Gyökeres, right? And I don't know what you make of this. So, some comments are coming in.
Yeah, some comments are coming in. I was born in May. I was born on Tuesday. Arsenal won their 13th Premier League title on Tuesday, 19th May 2026. What a month for me. After 22 years of constant disappointment, you are probably a deserved winner. In fact, you're a winner, not deserved, actually. Yeah, not probably, sorry. The wait is over. Arsenal FC are back on top. In my life, I never thought I would one day say congratulations to Arsenal.
Some of them have actually gone viral.
I'm a Liverpool fan, but I'm genuinely happy for you guys. 22 long years of waiting is not easy. Well done, fellow Reds.
Fellow Reds fan, what kind of share is this? Charlie, Liverpool, you chop sit to say, go and think about your own business. Don't come and do any atala on this one. Anyway, congratulations to all Arsenal fans around the world. The story of Mikel Arteta winning the league should be an inspiration to all of you. He showed that hard work pace, and Mikel Arteta used to be a Premier League player, so he's one of the first actually in the Premier League era, to play and also now win the league. So truly remarkable scenes in North London. It's a place I want to be. I can imagine North London by now.
Yeah.
Turned upside down.
Everywhere. Everybody's happy.
No, we should take a plane ticket and go there.
Should go,
tell some men I want to go and do tomorrow's show from.
So I think after the show we can go and have that discussion.
No, tell him now so that we start there. You start a thing from here.
All right,
it won't be bad to actually do the show from North London.
Right. So
yeah, tell him.
Hi. Hi, Samans. How are you doing? Congratulations to you, because we are the biggest Arsenal fans in the house. And as you heard from Jude, we would like to be reporting from North London tomorrow. So please, yes, fingers crossed. Let it happen. Thank you.
Keeping an eye on the Champions League, because they need to win that as well to make it truly a remarkable season for the Gunners. Congratulations. Congratulations to them.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's actually what we have for the trends, and I hope you enjoyed it. But now let's check out our video of the day.
You are lucky I came around. If I hadn't come, by this evening you'll be burying him.
Hey!
Is that serious? Over serious.
Hey!
Serious, that's serious to me. He's suffering from sequential blockade of the audiovisual and biosynthetic synthesis. You are lucky I came around. If I hadn't come, by this evening you'll be burying him.
Hey! Is that serious?
Over serious.
Hey!
Serious, that's serious to me. He's suffering from sequential blockade of the audiovisual and biosynthetic synthesis. You are lucky I came around. If I hadn't come, by this evening you'll be burying him.
Hey! Is that serious?
Over serious.
Hey!
Serious, that's serious to me. He's suffering from sequential blockade of the audiovisual.
All right, and that's
you know what a sequential blockage of the audiovisual. Oh, Sam Loco, may so rest in peace.
May so rest in peace.
Phenomenal actor.
But that's true. Like a lot of people are using ChatGPT these days for.
I went to my mechanic one time and he used YouTube. So I was worried. I'm like, Charlie, no, some way. But apparently it's best practice, right? You can't know everything.
You can't know everything, but won't you be scared that your doctor is using ChatGPT on you to check your symptoms?
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, they have diagnostic tools they can use in the hospital. Right. So if you just need some literature review on it, I don't think it's a big problem.
Did you use ChatGPT to go through university?
But I thought I was in school. ChatGPT wasn't a thing.
Exactly.
And the point is that I don't think that doctors are trained to wholly depend on information online. I mean, they do their own tests. They understand the systems.
Right.
So I think sometimes you overplay it. But hey, yeah.
Okay.
No, the AI it has come to stay.
No, it has come to
It's a double-edged sword, right? So if you don't adapt, you'll be left behind. That is the truth.
Yeah, that's
the point is that it's already being used in healthcare delivery, right? So I think that we can't fully depend on it, but we need to manage it in a way that we are benefiting from its positives as well.
Yeah, and I think that when you're using AI tools, especially for things like this, I think you should use a paid version, because a lot of times if you don't use the paid version, you get a mumbo jumbo of every word on the internet, because it's about picking information in different places. So you're just going to get a mumble jumble of everything if you don't use paid
premium,
to help you before.
I mean, I get you.
But anyway, that's the video of the day. And let's take a quick break. And when we come back, the show will be back with more.
Hello everybody, welcome to Vox Pop Central. Who brought cocoa to Ghana?
Oh, Cocoa Mama Tisro.
GRA, Ghana Registers Association. Do due diligence.
Two diligences.
I was like, how?
Two diligences.
You bamboozled me.
You scatter me.
Hey, what about them? We the ones who scatter them. What do you call the song you sing to make babies sleep?
We have many songs live. Baby, careful,
Because, hey!
Ete like me nation habu, eshi makpa.
What the?
Amieko maye, habu foi.
Okay, foi. So, whether it's a school, market, lorry station, or wherever I may find you, when you see me, Murife, don't run, don't run, don't run.
Vox Pop Central airs Thursdays at 7 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.
You are the best in my life. Oh, yes, you do. You are. I love you.
Come and see The Blacksons airs every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. and is sponsored by Out Insecticide, Nasco Electronics, Lizzie Shitop, and Everpack on Channel 1 TV.
The vibe is too much.
Welcome back. You are watching Breakfast Daily. But for now, we'll cross over to Parliament, where the Public Accounts Committee have invited the Attorney General and the Ministry of Justice. And the Minister himself is there, Dominic Aine, who's responding to questions from the committee.
So you are aware, and then you also submitted an additional claim of 22.4, right?
Yes, please.
So if you sum them, then you get a 25.4.
Yes,
So they are all yours?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, on the bit, the bank transfers advices. I mean, there's an amount of 782,262, which is captured in the report. And for this amount, you failed in supporting this figure with your records, such as your invoices, contracts, and approvals, correspondences. And so this amount was rejected. It was not validated. What do you have to say about this figure?
Honorable Chair, please, this figure, some were cancelled, and we informed the auditors. The others also have supporting documents attached, and I have them here.
What do you mean by some were cancelled?
There were duplications. So we cancelled them, and we informed the auditors that we have cancelled them.
You informed the auditors
Yes,
that you have
please.
cancelled.
Yes, please.
Auditors, were you informed about these duplications?
Honorable Chair, this was a figure submitted by the entity, that is Attorney General to Ministry of Finance, 3.7 million. And then we were able to validate 2.9 because the rest of 782,000, they were not supporting relevant documents to substantiate that amount. And I believe maybe that is what she's talking about. And we needed to reject it because we did not get the needed documents to assure ourselves that they are legitimate. Thank you.
But during the audit period, did you bring all of these documents to the attention that you have rejected some, you have cancelled some, and that you have supporting documents to support the claims, right? Audit.
Honorable Chair, yes, please.
You did.
Even in the report, they have stated some that I've cancelled. They've indicated this in the detailed report. Yes, please.
Okay. All right. There's also a 30,161,696 of reported payables as at 31st December 2024, which were not recorded in the gift miss. What do you have to say about this?
Honorable Chair, please, it was not recorded in gift miss because we didn't have